We're not even recording for a teaser. Now we're recording.
Are we?
YouTube Shorts, here we come. I think all the YouTube Shorts should just be Respawn tangents. It'll be nothing related to the show. It'll just be a collection of Respawn airport tangents and side stories. That'll be the entire YouTube Shorts thing. Yeah, Respawn Shorts. That's what we'll call it. It'll be great.
Oh my god, that actually isn't a bad chill. Actually, I mean, you might be onto something there. All my squirrel moments, and then like another short could be like explaining how I got derailed on the crazy train or whatever. Because they all have there's always a madness to the method.
Oh,
there always is. Even if you don't see it, I got from point A to point B somehow. You know what I'm saying?
I would apologize for encouraging him, but he needs no encouragement, so I do not apologize.
Right.
You do sound different today, though.
It's the same microphone.
No, but you sound like you're in a different room. Low. You do actually sound like you're in a different room now.
I am. None of my soundproofing stuff is in here. Yeah, that is going to be a problem. So I'm gonna try not to talk so loud that way it doesn't echo so badly. And I like my monitor is like right on me. That massive monitor that I had that used to be on a really large desk far away from me is now kind of in my face. And you'll see what I'm talking about when I start the camera. How the camera's like boom right there now.
So Respawn's gonna try not to talk too loud. Do we start the timer now for 3 minutes and see if we make it that far, or do we just give up immediately?
Give up immediately because we don't know what's upset him this week.
People are already yelling at me about audio, but it hadn't started yet. You see the timer? You see how it says a minute left? It ain't started yet, dude.
Obviously they don't. No, obviously not.
Why are they yelling at you?
Stream. I can see it there. I know it's there. I can see
Why are they yelling at you about audio? What's wrong with the audio now?
Because they can't hear me because there's no audio yet.
Because right now it's Kevin Hart shilling for something and not Respawn. So that's the first problem.
Yeah. Anyway, 52 seconds.
You've put yourself on a timer. Why can't you just click the button and go live?
Yeah.
Because it's not 9 o'clock yet.
Because we're not streamers or YouTubers.
Okay, we're not that professional. Okay.
I put the timer there specifically so that I would know to be on. The timer is set for 9 o'clock every day. Like, I ain't figured out how to set a timer for specific minutes and seconds, so I set it for a specific time. So if I turn on the stream... Yeah, well, I mean, there's probably a way to do it. I ain't found it yet. But yeah, so what happens is it's set to go off at 9 o'clock every day, right? So if I was to like stop the stream now and then start it later, it would say like, 12 hours, 13 minutes till stream or whatever. If I turned on the timer, okay.
Winning.
Anyway. Okay, we are live now. I guess I'll turn the camera stuff back on because I did turn that off. There we go.
Squirrel!
I feel like Nitedemon today. Y'all can't hear it yet because they're being good, but there's like 12 kids in my house right now.
Is someone having a birthday, and is it you?
They're all between the ages of 3 and 8.
Ah, perfect.
Yeah, my wife decided to, okay, so back to why I'm in my office now. Okay, so forgot about that. Yeah. Not in my office, I meant to say. So, the only thing scarier than living with one Brazilian woman?
Having a mother there?
Woman.
You've got a mother there, haven't you?
2. I've got her sister here.
Oh, that's bad.
Do you just hear the da 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 every time she enters the room?
No, but my nature is I'm always messing with my wife, and with her sister here, it makes it so much easier to do because I'm like, look, man, if your sister needs a place to stay, we could always, transfer over to Mormonism, and we could be a 3-couple household or whatever, right? Mm-hmm. Or I could have 2 wives or whatever. That went over like a wet fart in church. Let me tell you, like they knew I was joking, but ooh. The looks for both of them. No on sister wife. So yeah, I mean, it's important to know that in your relationship, though. Like, is sister wife an option? Yes or no? I mean, it's important to know that before you go build the compound, because if you build the compound and then find out, well, then you have a whole compound you can't use.
You know what? Only in America can you have this kind of conversation. This isn't even thought about over here.
What do you mean? Well, no, it's just a joke because, like, I know her boyfriend. Boyfriend.
It wasn't even thought of over here. I've heard of compounds and all these extra wives that you guys sometimes collate over there. It's like
not you guys, it's Mormons that do that stuff. It's not you guys kind of thing.
It's you guys over there on that rock.
The New World. Middle East, they have like 14
the New
wives,
World, that's
dude.
right. But we don't have that.
We saw your world. We rejected it. We made a new one. Is it
the
stupid?
Middle East is closer to you than we are.
Yes, but I'm just saying we don't have that here.
Yes,
we're civilized. We drink tea.
What? Do with anything?
With our little pinky in the air.
Anyway, so
with our monocles and our
monocles and our top hats and our tails.
Yeah, you can't fool us. We know exactly how this goes.
So I'm used to the wife bopping me when I do something stupid, right? But now the sister has come to the notion that, oh, it's okay to bop him. Cool. Yeah. So I'm used to getting bopped from two directions simultaneously, or there's just enough lag for me to get bopped by one, begin the recovery process when they hit the reset button, to then be bopped by the other one to extend the duration of the debuff. You know what I'm saying?
So this extremely long squirrel moment has boiled down to the fact that you've given up your office for her to sleep in, basically.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. While they're waiting for the house.
That was the long and short of it, wasn't it? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah.
That's the 3-minute cut of the
Bob DPS. Yes.
15-minute story. Yes.
What? Shut up. You guys asked.
Did we, or did you just want to volunteer telling us?
You did ask, and you said, "Why are you in there?" I was like, "I'll wait till you start recording so that everybody knows."
You could have covered that. You could have covered that in 1 to 2 sentences.
Yeah.
Well, but I don't know how.
My sister-in-law is staying. I've given up my office so that she can sleep in there because there's a bed in there. Bish bash bosh, done.
Excuse me for trying to make it interesting. God,
let's crack on.
Yeah.
Welcome to Two Titans and a Hunter, a Destiny 2 podcast. Dedicated in bringing you all the latest information, news, and opinions. This is the best show for new and veteran Guardians alike, where we share tips, tricks, and tools to help you succeed and enjoy playing even more. So with all that said, let me hand you over to your hosts, the Triumph Hunting Titan Nitedemon, the pink-panted pansy Peroty, and your Hunter Master Ranger, Mr. No One Respawns in Real Life!
So welcome to the show. This is the show.
Hi.
We're here.
Hi,
Respawn. How are you?
Hi.
You've been good?
You're
at your office. Where are you now? You're in the bedroom. Good.
I am in the bedroom. Yes.
Peroty, you're not in the bedroom. You're in your office.
I am. I'm in the room. The one room I'm in every week.
Good. I'm in the room that I'm in every week until I'm told to get out of the room and go and supervise the children. But I don't need to. Yeah, they're now old enough. They can look. Yeah, when the 6-year-old can make themselves toast, it's fine.
But can they make themselves?
They feed themselves. Yes,
that's the important part. As long as they make themselves tea, I hear they're basically good forever.
Tea and coffee. They love tea and coffee.
Done.
Yeah.
Squirrel.
A friend of mine's in Europe this week, and she's in England, and she sent me a video saying beans and toast are the most overrated breakfast I have ever heard of. But she did say your eggs and something else. I forgot what she said. Biscuits, something else was really, really, really good. But she said the beans and toast were definitely overrated. So, hot take on that.
Well,
why do you have beans and toast for breakfast? Like, why is that a thing? Why not lunch or dinner?
Sorry, I'm really confused. This is a Destiny podcast, and we're talking about beans on toast.
Yeah, obviously, Respawn's here.
Sorry. We haven't started the show yet. We haven't even done the intro.
I did. I said, I welcomed you to the show. I said, welcome, Respawn. Where are you? Then we went to Peroty, and then you came back and you were like, oh, beans on toast. Not everything that kind of turned out to be. It's like, who mentioned beans on toast? I've never said to you guys, oh, you've got to try beans on toast. It's amazing. Try it for your breakfast. It's amazing.
You thought about it. I heard you thinking about it.
No, I haven't.
Come at me like that. You have.
I haven't.
You're thinking about it right now.
This episode 276. We're at the point in TV shows where the main stars usually end up wandering off for their own spin-offs or their own shows, or they're just tired of being in the MCU. So I mean, this is the intro. We're here. You're here. There's some Destiny that's happened.
I was going to say that this could be the musical episode, but we've had that, and we've had the one where we change voices and do different voices. So we've kind of covered all the TV show variants so far. So yeah.
Well, so who gets the intervention in the very special episode at some point, or would we lose half our audience because they weren't alive in the 80s and 90s to see a very special episode of Two Titans and a Hunter, where Respawn struggles with something? Because let's be honest,
when you do that voice parody,
it absolutely would be the Respawn character who would struggle with something. we have to help him with.
Excuse me? Are you trying to say that I'm inundated with difficulties in life?
No, actually, no. I think the struggling thing this week is me that you guys need to help me with. And
what's up, bro?
I'm struggling. I'm struggling. Yeah, I'm struggling to understand Pantheon. Okay, I spent a good part of 3 to 4 hours trying to do Pantheon this week, and I was going into the Fighting Finder and looking for groups.
That's your first mistake, but okay.
I know. Yeah, we'll get to that. So, looking for groups, joining groups. Nobody's talking. We get in there to Golgroth.
Perfect.
One other person is talking. I'm thinking, okay, maybe everybody knows what they're doing. No. Literally, every group that I joined for 3 hours plus, we got in there. Only a couple of people were talking. And it was like headless chickens. They just ran towards the enemies and were just shooting the enemies. I'm like, right, okay. And every single time I was like, is anybody grabbing gaze? Is anybody grabbing gaze? Do you want me to grab the gaze? What's happening?
Do we know there's a gaze we have to grab and the thing we have to do with it and places we have to run to? Is any of this sounding familiar to anyone? No? Good.
What's a gaze?
Good.
I mean, 1 or 2 groups, I thought, they might actually have it figured out because they were going and killing all the enemies, and then suddenly they were shooting the ball to drop down into the pool, and they all ran to the pool, but nobody was getting the gaze. I'm like, guys, and then a couple of people that I was kind of able to communicate with was like, well, I'll get his attention, you shoot his back, get his gaze, and then I'll swap with you. That was fine until the people that weren't talking didn't understand that they had the unstable light and that there may be 2 this time. And there's a kind of, you're meant to kind of stand either side of his legs so that you two don't explode and somebody else runs off. No, people were standing next to each other, standing in the whole group, and
it's important to wipe the entire team. That's really the best way to do it. You want to wipe the entire raid group, not just yourself and maybe one other person.
But what I don't understand is, and Respawn will tell you, we found this with Fireteam Finder for doing Grandmasters, is that there should be something in the Fireteam Finder that you have to have your mic enabled. You have to be able to talk. What I don't understand is that people going into Fireteam Finder, and especially Pantheon, thinking that they can't talk or communicate. It's a raid encounter. It needs communication. It's not like just go and shoot the enemies. No, at no point has any raid encounter been, let's just shoot the enemies, and that's how we get the encounter done.
Yeah,
and I don't know whether it
adds you win. You're thinking of tower defense games.
You got to understand. No. This is where you messed up, though. Look, all right, real talk here. Not messing with you. The reason that you're having such a difficult time is because people are coming into this that have never done a raid. So like, ooh, I can get a raid thing without doing said raid. Let's do this.
And that's
it's not a joke. This is what's happening.
Seriously. No, exactly. But that's the part is you need to understand what you're doing. Like this is not the teeter-totter spot. This is not the time to learn unless you've gone in with a Sherpa and said, hey, we can figure this out and do this, but we need someone to show us the way. Yeah, this is not the time to learn your raid mechanics. If you're going to Pantheon going, I'm going to learn this raid mechanic, no, you're not. You're going to have hours of frustration.
But that's the thing, isn't it?
I mean, there's videos for this stuff, guys. Y'all can totally watch this. Jokes aside.
I've watched a couple of videos. I've watched like
the people that are listening that haven't done a raid yet. Because people in our chat have been complaining about it since before Pantheon came out. They're like, this is going to be terrible. People that haven't done a raid don't deserve raid weapons. Blah.
Hey! If you wait long enough, you will get the raid weapons. Destiny has proven this time and time again.
The problem is, it's still a boss encounter, and not only is it a boss encounter, it's a boss encounter with more steps. It's more complicated than a normal raid. You see what I'm saying? Because the normal part of the raid doesn't have all these mechanics like fire tornadoes and 2 people that can explode and kill everybody and this and that and the other, right? And tormentors will just pop up like, oh, hi, you're a tormentor. You don't belong here, right? So, I mean, not only do you need to know the raid mechanics, you need to know the advanced version of the raid mechanics, and you need to know the Pantheon version of the advanced raid mechanics. So,
that's something I wanted to kind of ask you. This is what I wanted to ask you to, because when Pantheon was kind of sold to us as the Destiny community, going through the TWAB and, this grand thing, Pantheon's coming along, and hopefully it will get more people engaged to come and play raids and people will enjoy it. It seems to be a mixed message, because who is Pantheon actually for? Is it for the people that want to get into raiding, that kind of learn the mechanics, or is it for the experienced people that have done all the raids to go and play? Because I don't feel it kind of fits either way. Because if you look at it, new people coming in, or people that haven't raided or have very little raid experience, that want to kind of do Pantheon to get the rewards, because let's face it, you can get exotics without kind of having to do the full raid, and it's a guaranteed exotic. You can get harrowed weapons, you can get adept weapons, you can just get
harrowed is adept.
Yeah, but
let's clear that. No, we need to clear that up right now. A harrowed weapon is an adept weapon, for those of you that don't know.
But it's harrowed because it's in Kingsville. Anyway.
Yes.
So, but the thing is that those things are there, and that as far as I can see, that it is farmable. You can keep playing it over and over again, and you don't just necessarily, once you've hit those kind of targets on the kind of the quests and doing the different things for each encounter, you can just play the encounter and get a random chance to get a weapon to drop that should be in that raid as well. So there's so much incentive to get new players and players who have not done raids to get into Pantheon. But players that have done raids over and over and over again, so that they know these kind of mechanics and they can adjust to just at these odd little bits here and there and get through the Pantheon, there's no incentive apart from an emblem at the end of it, or a title at the end of it, for them to go in. They've probably got all the exotics. They've probably got all the
incentive. No, there's an incentive. There's an incentive, right? And the reason is because you also, every time you finish it, you can get 3 golf balls, which, some people could use. Some people don't like GMs, and
yes,
this is the way to get a guaranteed 3 golf balls at the end.
Okay, but when people that have played so often to get to the end, where they've got so many spoils, they just don't know what to do with spoils. They've got all the raid exotics, or most of the raid exotics, or they've got most of the weapons. It isn't set up for them to do, and they're the people that need to be in there to help the people that they want to kind of onboard into getting into raids, do these activities. And what doesn't help is that each week it's going, I'm guessing it'll be a drop-down box. You can either select this week's current 4 bosses, next week's 5 bosses, so on and so forth. And then you'll have like a couple of weeks to kind of finish it out at the end of the season if you still haven't managed to get in there. But it is very mixed message of, we want you to kind of learn these raid encounters, or we want you to go and play the Pantheon. And it's set up for high-end kind of people to play, to get the emblems, to get the title and the seal. But the new players coming in are seeing it as, oh, this is me trying to get into raiding. This is something that I can kind of try and get into. And like I said, with my experience with the Fireteam Finder, and it seems to be everybody's doing the same thing. Oh, this new thing's come along. Let's go into Fireteam Finder and see if we can find a group. We'll see if we can get somebody to Sherpa us. But not talking and not going kind of through the motions of trying to learn it, and even trying to attempt to do a part of the raid mechanic to show the team that you kind of know what you're doing, is kind of hindering it a lot. It's just, I don't know how long this is. I mean, it's only a short-term thing, but I don't know how much this is kind of going to go down with the community. I think it's like a lead balloon at the moment. It just seems to be failing for the people that are trying to get into doing the raids.
Well, another thing is, I gotta address this, because then we said there's no change in mechanics. Yes, there is, right?
There is.
Now, you can still do them normally if you want to, right? They do add bits like tornadoes and tormentors and things like that, but that's not a raid mechanic, right? But what you do have to know is the nuances. Like, for example, you have to know how to DPS a boss a certain way to skip the 3rd level in the library, right? You have to know how to one-phase Atrix with the loadouts, and, how to one-phase him. That way you don't have to...
You don't necessarily have to do that. You could just do the...
You do if you want to get the time. Like, for example, in the library...
Oh, yeah, if you want to get the timing
of the phase, you're not going to get the bonus reward. Just flat out, full stop. But again, you have to know these if you want to get the rewards.
That's for the people like you that can do raids, get a group, and go for the title. slobs like me.
I'm not saying it's not. I'm saying like Dimwit's like,
that.
there's no change in raid mechanics. You need to know how to do the advanced stuff. Yeah, there is a change in how you do it normally and how you do it in the advanced mode. There absolutely
it's not a change. It's not it's not too much of a change, but if you want to kind of get the title and get the fast score, then you need to kind of work on those things. But you can just go through it and just adjust to what the small changes are, like the tornadoes or the couple of people being like debuffed in Gold
Tornadoes are the worst, dude. That whatever sadistic person at Bungie thought tormentors are okay. There's even some tormentors you can just flat out ignore and they won't bother you, right? But the fire tornadoes, whatever sadistic at Bungie thought that was a good idea, needs to be drawn and quartered in public. All right, that was awful. And it's not like, oh, here's a fire tornado, I better get out of it. It's like before you even realize it's there, you're dead. Because it's not exactly prominent if it's on you. Now, you can see it on other people's stuff, but when it's on your plate, it's like, what's that noise? Oh, it's me, Guardian down. What the hell just happened? You know?
As someone who hasn't encountered the fire tornadoes, is it like the rest of us trying to play against stasis hunters when stasis came out and everything was just stasis tornadoes everywhere you looked?
No. There's a certain time it comes out. Like once you kill the Centurion, no, that's the wrong word. Once you kill a certain person, the fire tornado will start on your plate, and it always moves in a clockwise direction. But if you don't know those two things, then you're just like, where did this come from? What is happening? What's going on? You know, but like once burning. You know about it, it's easier to deal with. Yeah, you know, what's that smell? Oh, it's my flesh.
Oh, that's me.
I smell delicious.
My foot seems to have melted, says the Exo.
Yeah. And it just has to touch you, dude. It's so destructive, man. And this isn't even the hard version of Pantheon, right? This is normal, you know, everyday Pantheon where, like, you know, Joe Schmo could theoretically come in. You know?
That's my point. That's my point. It isn't.
Joe Schmo cannot.
Joe Schmo cannot just come in. This is for the people that kind of can do raids and have a but that's the problem. I think that's the problem that Bungie have kind of sold it to Joe Schmo to say you can kind of come and do this, and as the weeks progress it'll get harder and harder, but if you've kind of done it from the first week you'll kind of learn. You won't, because the people that are coming in are not communicating, and I know that's not the whole kind of community, and I know there are a lot of people out there kind of sherping people, and a lot of people are kind of organizing groups properly. But the Fireteam Finder, I have found, and I'm not the only one, because listening to other podcasts, they found the same thing, like 3 to 4 hours going in different groups and there's no communication. There needs to be something in Fireteam Finder that you have to have a mic. I mean, people have now got the grasp of kind of making it invite only, so that they'll set up the group and then they'll go down the list of people and go and pick and choose who they want to kind of come in. But they're not making sure that people have got mics. And it needs to be, something needs to change, because that coupled with this Pantheon thing is not going down well for me anyway, because I'm feeling like, well, if I can't even get in the first week and try and do this, I'm not going to be able to find groups that can kind of do it the second week. And I've played a lot of LFG raid groups, and I know it's always a mixed bag, but Pantheon coming along just seems to make it even worse.
Is there anything particular, like, and again, this is someone who hasn't, you know, as someone who talks about the 100IO and all the LFG stuff, who also really hasn't made much use of it lately because he hasn't been raiding or finding groups, is there anything about Fireteam Finder that's made this worse or different, or is this because I mean, again, to my untrained ears, it sort of sounds like, well, no, but I mean, like, it sort of sounds like this is the problem of every LFG system. Of you're putting your coin in the slot machine and you're going, let's see if we can find a group. No, yeah, like there's some like if you're setting things up ahead of time, like if you're scheduling. Going to 100IO and going like, hey, on Thursday, it's Monday now. On Thursday, I want to raid. Let's put a team together, and you can kind of pick and choose and like figure out that group, or just go, hey, here's who we're going to run with. Versus, let's throw this together and see what happens. But yeah, I mean, I agree with you. There should be some requirements. Like, hey, if you're doing an end-game activity, like there should be a mic check. Like, when you join, have it say, hey, say a couple words into the mic so we can verify you have one. Just something simple. Which, granted, people still get around, but at least have some basic check in place to go, do you at least have a microphone? Can we at least verify there is one there that you'll use to talk to people? Because yeah, if you're trying to do end game activities, just quit immediately. There's no way you're going to be successful.
No,
There's absolutely no way.
Okay, look, with the mechanics that are in place, I get that you guys are struggling, right? But when it comes to things like this, like let's put in quote serious things, in-game activities, I always go to the Discord LFG, and I put that in the link in the show before. I don't know if you've still got it on hand. I can get it again.
No,
but there's all kinds of different rooms. I mean, they're like, honestly, that is the best luck I have when doing anything is going through the Discord LFG, right? Because they've got mics, they've got raid rooms, they've got specific rooms for you looking to do a specific thing. You know, people put in their join codes as long as he's remembered to take it off of, you know, friend invite only. You know, it's like, hey, come join me. You're on invite only. Come join me. Dude, check your DMs. You're on invite only. Come join me, bro.
So yeah. So again, going somewhere and actually talking to people, actually like, you know, setting up a group and not just throwing a coin into the slot machine, a fire team finder, going, find me some people. Let's hope for the best.
Yeah. No, the only thing you have to worry about when it comes to like the LFG at that point is, do people know what they're doing or not? And honestly, there's a lot of people that are like, yo, newbies welcome, yo, Sherpa-ing, yo, this and that and the other. You know, there's even a channel for Sherpas if you're looking to find one. It's really, really in depth. And as far as like serious activities go, that's where I would go. And I'm not trying to take away from Bungie's in-game system. I'm not trying to take away from the 100.io. All I'm saying is that, you know, historically speaking, this has been the better option if you really want to get something as complicated as Pantheon done. You know? So, I mean, take that as you will. You want to use in-game Fire Team Finder, that's fine. Micah seems to love that for whatever reason. We found a couple of good people there, don't get me wrong. Honey Nut Cheerios, A-Track's favorite cereal, that is that dude's name. It's amazing, you know? And anytime we're all on, we get a group together and we do a Pantheon in like an hour. You know what I mean? But, you know, those are few and far between. Most of the good guys you're not gonna find in Destiny LFG yet, for the reasons that Nitedemon and Peroty have been discussing for the last 10 minutes. You know, so yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, I think you hit the nail on the head. Go to a place where you can find people, and then find those same people again. You know, use LFG to find the good people, add them to your friends list, and go, hey, like, you know, where do you hang out? What Discord can we all join to you know, group up again? I mean, that's you know, find you know, you can go fishing in LFG, find the competent people, and then go, all right, now that we have the competent people, now we can go and knock this thing out, or go, you know, there's 4 of us now we can go find 2 more and get this done, versus, hey, there's 1 of us or 2 of us, let's see what we can do.
And if you can't be competent, at least be funny, so that they'll add you to the friends list and they don't want carrying you.
Pro tip.
Right?
I mean, to be honest, I have found more success doing the Xbox in-game kind of the Xbox LFG. So looking for somebody I was looking down to do Pantheon, and then I came across somebody that said, you know, wanted to do the Heist Battlegrounds Moon GM, and I thought, I need that one if I'm going to do the Conquer Tile. I've only got the Hypernet Current to do. So when I joined them, mic check, and we kind of went going. You know, they make sure that I had a mic, they had a mic, and whoever else they invited had a mic. A lot of communication, a lot of banter, a lot of fun, and we got through it. But it's like, yeah, it's like the Fire Team Finders for the experience that I've had so far has been worse than any other LFG that I've kind of used. And I've used the 100.io. I've used a lot of the other LFGs that I've had on my phone, which were, if I can find them, or maybe I've deleted them now because we've got all the other things. But yeah, so I find that the Xbox one, or the platform app that I'm on, works quite well, because you know people are setting up groups, and if they haven't got a mic, they'll be kicked, hopefully, because whoever's the leader will kind of sort that out. But yeah, I mean, the problem does kind of come when you're kind of cross-platform. So Respawn and I, when we were doing like the GMs, because he was on the PC and I was on the Xbox, it was kind of, we had to do the game chat and then wait for somebody to kind of come in from the Fire Team Finder, and nobody had a mic. And that wasn't just kind of 1 or 2 times, that was quite a few times.
Frustrating.
But now Pantheon itself, though, aside from looking for a group, What did you think about the parts that have happened so far? You know, like, do you like playing it? Do you like the encounters? Like, how do you feel like just going to the raid bosses and doing a thing to get the rewards? You know, to get the happy juices flowing in your brain.
I'd love to if I could get in with a group and do it. Does that answer your question?
You haven't even done it yet, or you haven't completed it?
I haven't done it yet. We haven't got past Golgoroth with any group that I have been with.
What?
That's the frustration.
So that answers my question. So Golgoroth is the first boss.
Yes.
And what's the week? I know you put the video out, but for people who are listening, so it's Golgoroth, and then what's the
what's the
progression?
He's making me pull up my notes.
Well, no, it respawns on it 1,000 times. I figured he'd remember what bosses are there.
I'm not hearing what you're saying.
What bosses are there? Once you get past Golgoroth, who's next?
Caretaker from Vow the Disciples, second encounter. Then you've got Zorak.
That's what I was saying. Yeah.
Zorak from Root of Nightmares, third encounter. Atrax 1 from Deepstone Crypt, second encounter, is the boss this week. And then next week, on top of that, all of those, you then go to Oryx. And then the week after that is Rolk, I believe. And then the week after that is Riven and Nezarek, both at the same time.
Yeah, people keep trying to talk about having to do Riven legitimately. Oh, my lord. I don't think I have ever, in the history of that raid, done Riven legit. I don't even know how. I only know various cheeses to like one phase Riven. So like when I get to that encounter, I'm legit going to be learning how to do Riven for the first time, legitimately, And I'm just like, why are we learning how to do this legitimately? And some people are saying because you can't do the cheeses in Pantheon. I don't even know how they know that yet, but whatever.
No, but I think Bungie have been very sneaky with how they kind of set it up so that they know they're going to stop people from doing the cheese, especially on Riven, because I reckon it's set up as its own encounter. So it's not even a kind of copy and paste from the raid. I reckon it's we'll adjust this just to be that specific thing to stop people from cheesing.
We'll fix this particularly. I mean, can't you just walk up to her and say, I promise to find your eggs, and she'll be like, all right, cool, you win. Isn't that it? Isn't that all you have to do? That's what this whole season
no,
is.
we've gone back in time, and Riven's very upsetty spaghetti with us again. So,
someone dropped the egg. Don't drop the egg. Riven doesn't care for it.
But no, I mean, I would say, arguably, if you don't know the Atrax cheese at the end, Golgoroth is probably the hardest encounter. Because there's actually a lot of moving parts, and it's moving fast. I think is what catches a lot of people off guard, because somebody's got to be catching gaze while while they're doing the countdown. The other person has to be ready to catch the gaze, and then on top of that, you have invisible minotaurs that are coming to take you out. And on top of that, you have the guys on the ground that are trying to do DPS, but at the same time, they also have to pay attention to these timers, and they also have to pay attention to who's about to explode and kill everyone. And there's 2 people that explode now instead of 1, so that is kind of a new
2
encounter.
or 3.
I believe it's only
3.
1.
There can be 3, up to 3 people, apparently.
Wow. And you got to make sure that they don't kill each other, because even though you both have the curse or whatever it is, if you're standing next to each other, you will still kill each other. And even though they both detonate at the same time, I'm not sure how that RNG goes, because they don't always both die. Sometimes it's just the one guy, and I'm like, how does that work, right? But yeah, so I mean, there's a lot of moving parts, and then you have to be shooting down bubbles, and then you got to have your DPS on point. You
say that,
yeah.
But I've watched a video this week from Esoteric soloing Golgoroth in the Pantheon.
Oh, Esoteric, an elite freaking gamer. Oh no!
If you really want to feel bad about yourself, go watch an Esoteric video and be like, so this can be done. I can't do it. No one I know can do this, but it is possible.
Yeah, and I will link it in the show notes because it was unbelievable. I was like, how has he done this? Maybe I could use this knowledge to actually carry the group of 5 other people that are not talking, and I could do. I watched the video and I was like, no Titan, and I was like, I'm not going to be able to do this.
How do you sustain gaze while doing DPS as a Titan? You don't have that survivability unless you get melee.
You are going to have to watch the video. Yes, it is melee.
Okay.
Yeah, I've done the same thing going, well, let me see if I can pick up any. No. That's like me going, so I see people play, insert professional sport here that I've never touched in my life. Let me see if I can pick up some tips. Yeah, no, I see you doing what you're doing. I do not have the capabilities to do any of those things. That's how watching Esoteric is. It's like I understand you're a human being. I assume not an AI, but
the thing is with Golgroth, it is quite simple. People kill enemies. Somebody grabs his gaze on his back. Somebody swaps with that person on the gaze. They shoot down the puddle, and everybody else jumps in the puddle, shoots Golgroth, and you kind of just rotate the gaze and until the kind of damage phase is over. It is quite simple, but to get people to do that, it's very hard.
Right.
Well, another thing that I don't understand why people do it this way. It seems so asinine. But they're like, oh, I need you to shoot him to get his attention so I can shoot him in the back. I'm like, why don't you just run behind him, snipe him? He'll instantly be angry at you. You've got his gaze, and then just rotate him around. Because the other person that's trying to, quote, get his attention, he just ignores you half the daggone time, dude. And we've had so many people that we end up wiping encounters because, they're like, oh, well, he wouldn't turn to me. Well, why don't you just run behind him, shoot him in the back, you have his gaze, and then rotate him around for everybody else. Dude, stop overcomplicating.
I did help because the one guy that was communicating with me in the one group, I put on the sword build where I'm unkillable with my strongholds on, stood right under Golgroth, looking up
perfect gaze taker. Well done.
Yeah. So I stood where the bubble would drop, holding my shield or my sword, and wait for the guy to say, I've got the gaze, so that he could then, I pointed him in the right direction and then I could swap with him. That worked because Golgroth didn't focus on anybody else around the whole thing because I was just standing there. He was getting very upset with me, slamming me and gazing me. And I was like, nope, this ain't going to get me. I'm unkillable. So I can confirm that works.
Oh, speaking of which, where did you get your build from? And send me a link if you can, because there's people I've been trying to say that this works for. And they're like, that's not a thing. No, it'll eventually deplete over time. Yada, yada. I'm like, bro, I've seen it in action in GMs. The dude sits there for 30 minutes at a time.
Yeah.
He's like, how do you build it? I'm like, I don't know. I'm not a Titan.
I believe it was Mactics, and I will link it in the show notes.
Yeah. I mean, just go to everybody. YouTube Unkillable Titan Sword build. I'm sure it'll be your first result. But yeah, I'm fairly certain it's Mactics as well.
Oh, it's hard to Google in an encounter, to be fair.
Well, yes. Yes. No, I don't mean in the moment, but when someone runs off to go refill their drink or runs to the bathroom and you take that 5-minute break, that's when you go look it up and go, let me see if I can figure this out. Let me see if I've got the pieces. Can I hit the dim link and go, hey, we're good now? Yeah, no, you don't go to you don't do it while you're in the encounter because then you get kicked from the raid team. And then you're like, hey, we finished it without you. Some people you scream at not to go to the store because you're trying to get something done and you're going to lose half the group, and then they go to the store anyway, so you kick them instead.
See, the problem is with that Mactics build is that it isn't called what you think it's called. It is called Want to Stop Dying in Destiny, use this build, and it's part of his Will It Build kind of section. But
I love that section.
The video that he's kind of got shows him using the strongholds with a sword, but on a stasis titan. Now I've swapped it and put it on a strand titan so that when you get a sword kill or you get a melee kill, you also get your banner of war. So I've also got that procced as well. So I've got an extra bit of kind of security. If, heaven forbid, I kind of swipe at somebody, because what I was finding was in the GMs with Respawn is that if I took a swipe at a lower kind of class enemy to get my stack of what's the solar thing, the restoration, because you build it up to 100 stacks of kind of just blocking, you get one kill and that will proc your restoration to kind of keep you alive. And it works on the stasis site, and it also works on strand. It works on kind of all of them because it's part of the stronghold thing. And yeah, so I was taking a swipe at people and kind of dying because somebody else would shoot me at the same time. So if I do a finisher or if I do a sword swipe and I've still got the strand with the banner of war, it kind of helps keep me alive. So I can kind of clear a room like in that the moon encounter, in the GM moon encounter, go around that room and kind of swipe at people, finish the next person. Somebody else kind of explodes from the explosions from my sword, and they go down to a part where they can kind of be finishable.
Kind of explodes.
Yeah, because with the sword that I've got, it's kind of got chain reaction on there. So if I take a swipe at a lower form and a red bar enemy, they will die.
Form of life.
Yeah, they will die, and then they will explode next to a yellow bar or whoever next, but they will be finishable. So if I get a finisher, then that also then procs the Banner of War, which then gives me a little bit more kind of time. So maybe I can take a couple of swipes at a yellow bar and then finish them off. So it's kind of it helps with that kind of build. But the Matix one that I will link in the show notes shows you him going on the Stasis Titan. So there you go.
Please use it. I give Nitedemon a bunch of crap, but having somebody who literally can't die on the team is kind of invaluable.
It does take a while to kind of
me that use him as a wall.
It does take a while to kind of get used to, because you have to make sure that you've kind of got your back to some enemies. Some enemies can shoot you in the back and you still take no damage, but then some will kind of be able to shoot you in the back. And then some of the kind of elements like fire on the floor doesn't seem to sometimes have an effect. But when they throw those arc grenades or those bouncy arc balls, especially in Onslaught, it kind of sometimes you get hit from that because it's over the top of the shield. So you have it is a little bit of a learning curve, but it's not too much of a learning curve. And the funny thing is, speaking about this build, you mentioned it last week about being a complete troll in like Crucible and using that build in Crucible, and I'd be unkillable. And well, there's this new game mode. It's called Hardware. And heavy ammo spawns quite frequently. And my strongholds.
Is that actually a new game mode?
Yeah, my strongholds work pretty well if I just walk around the map and kind of block and have a team running behind me. I've got the footage, people running behind me, shooting the enemies, and I'm just like Pac-Man picking up all the crests because it's hardware supremacy. So it was so funny. I was like, I mean, that they can still kind of get around the side of you and shoot you, and when you are walking forward, you still take a bit of damage. But if you've got 2 or 3 people behind you shooting them, they go down quite quickly, and you kind of, and especially if you're using a strand build, you can then get a melee or you get a sword swipe and kill them. You've then got your Banner of War as well as the sword block. Nasty. It is nasty.
Who wants to challenge the Invincible Titan is what I want to know.
They all want to challenge. They all want to challenge at that point. It's like the bubble. It's like flies to a light. It's that guy is invincible. We've got to take him down. It's so funny.
We can absolutely do this. No, you absolutely cannot.
Oh my god! So, did you win all the games that you were in, or what? Like what was your win?
I only played the one game, but it was just so fun to do it because I thought, I wonder if this will work. Because it was.
Did you record it? If not, you need to.
I did record it.
Nice.
But the thing is, it was like, well, I've got this build on because I was doing something else, and I thought, I'll just take that into hardware, and I took in my half dandy auto rifle because I thought, it's going to be coming back in a couple of months, so I'm quite prepared to use that again. And I was watching old footage of me, and I'd been using it in Iron Banner quite a few times. So it is very, very nice. So I was using that, and then my sword. So it was quite cool. Good fun times.
Oh, that's beautiful. So do you just call flying V? Like, is that just that maneuver now? And go, listen, I'm going to go this way. Everyone just, fill in behind me. We're going to flying V our way through this entire match. And then we'll win.
I have the visual of the ants go marching in song where they're all marching behind each other. Mm-hmm. It's just him. Like so from the first person point of view, you see Nitedemon and only Nitedemon with his shield up, right? And then people start peeking from the left and right of him, like, whoa, 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 whoa.
I'm telling you, it's good fun.
Look, I'm laughing, but if I came across this, I'd stop whatever game mode I was in. This sounds like actual cancer, but I'm laughing because I didn't experience it yet, right? Yeah.
I don't think it's not one of those things that's going to be quite prevalent because people can get around you, but if you're very tricksy like me, then you kind of how to use it. What if you
have a team of Titans on every angle with that going on?
Mobile bubble, yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Everybody gets a heavy at once, and then it's just game over.
Yeah, I think in that hardware mode, heavy is shared. So if you grab it, anybody on your team can grab it before it disappears off the wall.
Yeah, that's awful. You're an awful person, but I'm happy to hear
it. So are we? Sorry.
No, go ahead.
Oh, go on.
It's just bringing back the nothing but bubbles and the Iron Banner of Destiny 1, where you can just bubble an entire room and go, we live here now. This is our home.
That was so funny. And I missed some of those maps that I remember doing it on. Yeah. There was one on the Dreadnought that you could kind of do. It was a smaller map, not like the Cathedral of Dusk, but there was another map that they had on the Dreadnought. And you could I remember actually doing that. And I saw not an esoteric, Disney Fun Police one initially. And we did, didn't we? We kind of just bubbled all the way kind of from A to B. Yeah. And it was so fun.
Exactly. Like the room, you could just control the rooms and go, no, this is our room. Because we would have like 3 or 4 bubbles and then, like a blade barrage, something else to do damage. Because, it's not the best. It's not the best plan in the world, but it's funny.
And even if we lost, it was fun. Group. Yeah.
Yeah. It's like we may not win, but we're going to make you really frustrated. You'll either run in here and die immediately or run in here and wipe us with your super. Either way, that's the name of the game.
So are we willing to give like Pantheon another try next week and see if we can kind of still do it? Peroty, you down for this? Are you going to see if you can kind of maybe do like an Xbox LFG or find a group somewhere else and give it a go? Respawn, we know that you're probably already done it or halfway through it.
I should probably...
I've completed it, yeah. I've already done it.
I should probably step foot into it at some point. I haven't even touched Iron Banner this week. It's been... I've... The only game I've played this week legitimately, Beat Saber on the MetaQuest. That's it. That's the entirety of the games I've played this week, other than playing a little bit of Onslaught right now.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm way behind still on my weapon bounties and things. I've sort of got what I wanted to get out of Onslaught. So like even if it ended tomorrow, I'd be pretty happy with it. But I still need to unlock the last 3 or 4 weapons, and then I've been seeing people talking about the Luna's Howl again, and I'm going, I'm not ready for this. I'm not mentally prepared for that to return to the game, especially as it seems to be very good. So then I'm going to prepare myself for all the people moaning when they inevitably nerf it because it's too good, and the cycle will continue.
See, I thought I was being quite clever because I kept my Midnight Coup bounty and then picked up my Luna's Howl bounty, and I thought, I can kill 2 birds with 1 stone. Turns out you can't. Because one is hand cannon kills and the other one is hand cannon precision kills. And depending on what kind of hand cannon you're using, sometimes when you shoot somebody in the head and they explode, doesn't necessarily count as a hand cannon precision kill. So that's my fault for using Ace of Spades. And I was like, well, I've got the Midnight Coup one done. I haven't turned... I think I finished the sword and I finished the Midnight Coup.
Whoops.
But I didn't turn them in, and I've played Onslaught, and they've dropped for me, and I'm like, hang on a minute, mate. No, what? Why? Why are you giving me the things, and I haven't turned in the bounties to say I want these in my loot pool, but now you're giving me the stuff in the loot pool? And it's the same with that blooming sniper rifle. I have not done 1 kill with a sniper rifle. The first week of Onslaught, I got like 10 of those sniper rifles. I'm like, well, I know it's one of the first like 6 weapons that's available. But I don't want it. You can look. If I want it, I will go into that raid. I will get the curated version of it, or the red bordered one of it. I will craft it, and then I will go. This is the one. This is the only one. I don't need any more. I don't need you giving me this one over and over and over again.
The number of successions I have deleted for the same reason. Going, you can give them to me. I don't care what the role is. It's getting deleted. I do not want it. I will not use it. I have not fired a single sniper rifle.
There's a dude in the raid in Kingsfall. There was a dude in Kingsfall last night who we needed to do grenades for one of the DPSs, and he's like, just grab a grenade. I'm like, Edge Transit? He goes, I swear to Christ, if I see anybody equip an Edge Transit, I'm kicking you. Even though it's actually good, but he's just got this thing for Edge Transits. Like, if I see you, you're done.
Show us in the vault where the Edge Transit has violated you.
This is ridiculous, right? And I know we've talked about my vault last week, but I've got 5 Edge Transits that all seem to be pretty good. Now, if I tell you these roles, you'll give me your honest opinion, okay? Right? So I've got
new ones or like
new ones. No, new ones, right? Okay. So I've got deconstruction and chain reaction with a blast masterwork, right? Exactly what I was thinking, right? Yeah, then I've got the one that everybody recommends, which is bait and switch, envious assassin with spike grenades and a blast radius. Masterwork.
I would do Envious Assassin. Bait and switch, yes, for DPS. Envious Assassin. Maybe deconstruct bait and switch.
No, but the bait and switch and Envious Assassin is the one that everybody's recommended for the trials one, which was the I can't remember the name off the top of my head. The Cataphract GL3.
He is really yelling at you to keep that one.
Yeah, see, I told you, right? So I've got those. I've got those two. Then I've got the curated one that they gave me, which has got the destabilizing rounds and Envious Assassin, because it's a shiny. I'm keeping it because it may be the only shiny I get, right? So then I've got destabilizing rounds and repulsor brace with sticky grenades or alloy casing with linear compensator and handling masterwork. That's a decent one because it's got those two kind of perks on there, yeah?
So that's one where you say, I need the room, please.
Yeah, the void kills everything and then you get the overshields. And then for my last one, right? So I've got cascade points. So final blows of sustained precision damage hits with another weapon increase this weapon's rate of fire for a short duration. So if I get kills with another weapon, right? Then on top of that, I've got full court. So I could just be a mile away, just go boom, 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 boom. All of those are good. And I'm like,
but in a lot of these encounters, you're not going to be a mile away. I mean, it's a great roll if you have that range, but you have to be a significant distance for you to get max benefit of that. And there is also a cap to that. So two things you got to worry about when you're dealing with that. You know what I mean? But yeah, other than that, I mean, no, it's a powerful roll, but you're not gonna have a whole lot of opportunities.
I can delete one of my favorite children there.
I mean, there's usually there's one place where you can use it for sure, right?
But there you go then. But that's the problem I've now got with these weapons. It's like they've got really good rolls on there. But the other thing I want to kind of bring up to you guys is that I understand that shinies are very rare and they're meant to be very similar to kind of how exotics used to drop in Destiny 1. So rare, they're kind of like rocking horse poo kind of thing. And I got one the first week. I've played a vast amount of Onslaught and I've got none apart from the curated rolls that I've kind of turned in and got those curated ones. I've had none to drop. Now, I'm playing Onslaught now and not getting anything. What is the difference from me stopping playing Onslaught now, just turning in all those bounties, getting those curated rolls, and then when Final Shape comes along, playing Onslaught again to get the rolled weapons that they're kind of just throwing at me now? There's no difference because that's what I'm getting. Do you have
Super Black yet? Do you have Super Black?
No, but say if I've done all of those.
Well, no, hold on. Do you have Super Black?
No.
Then you need to keep playing until you get Super Black.
No. I don't need to keep playing. All I need to do is the weapon bounties.
Right.
I'm maxed out with Shax. Shax was maxed out the first week. Okay. I've got his Super Black thing. I've just got to do the Arsight 9940 bounties. Once I've done those and turn those in, I can get my Super Black shader. I can get the shiny variants of the curated rolls, but I'm not getting any shiny rolls from playing Legend Onslaught, normal Onslaught, any kind of Onslaught. It's frustrating because I'm not asking for them to kind of give them to me every kind of time that I play, but I'm asking for kind of a little bit of maneuverability on these things because I'm playing your game mode before it kind of the shinies go away when the final shape comes, but I'm not getting anything. And there's no difference from me kind of stopping playing Onslaught, completing those bounties, collecting my Super Black shader, getting my curated rolls, and then playing Onslaught again next season because I'm only getting those weapons like I am now. There's no incentive because the incentive is so minimal that it doesn't exist for me, basically.
But if you take a week off, will Destiny then shower you with shinies like it used to do with exotics for welcoming you back?
Well, I mean, to be honest, I don't play a lot of the time I didn't play yesterday. I probably won't play today, tomorrow, Monday, maybe a little bit on Tuesday. So, there's maybe about 5 days that I don't play. 4 or 5 days.
Then by the time you come back, it'll shower you with weapons.
Because that happened last week. Yeah, that happened last week. I hadn't played and I came back. Nothing. I've abandoned Iron Banner to play Onslaught. And I'm not saying
somebody clip that. Somebody clip that.
I'm not saying. Look, I'm not saying that I'm only playing Onslaught for the shinies, but I'd like to get some.
Yeah, but that's all we're playing Onslaught for.
No, I like playing Onslaught. I like the challenge of making the builds, playing with the builds, and wrecking house, and seeing how far I can get with various different teams. And I really do enjoy Onslaught. Huh?
Yeah, I was gonna say. I was gonna say what you just said. I enjoy playing. I'm playing the game mode right now. I happen to have gotten a shiny scout. It's ass, but I got one. But I mean, for me, the shinies are just a bonus. I'm just here to find the god rolls, and if I happen to get a shiny, cool. But I'm not playing it for the shinies. I just kind of enjoy the game mode, and I don't think there's anything wrong with that, honestly.
No. Maybe there should be some more. Bungie should reassess it. There maybe should be some more incentive to maybe go to wave 30. Maybe at wave 30 on Legend, and you open the chest, you get like a 50-50 chance. If you open the chest at wave 40 and you haven't got one at wave 30, there's a 75% chance. And then you're guaranteed to get one on your first run of each character on Legend, 50. No problem. So at least you're kind of getting 3. I mean, considering we've only got like a month left of this, I think there should be kind of some incentive to make people get to the end of the 50 waves rather than kind of just farming the 10 waves, which is what they're still kind of doing. I mean, every LFG post that I saw on the Fighting Finder was like farming the first 10 waves. It's like, I don't want to do. I want to see how far I can get. I want to have a team, and I played with some really good teams that have had no communication, but we've just kind of gelled. And it's just
I'm on wave 48 right now with a team, and I haven't talked to them even once.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Like I said, it's because
you have only gotten to 50 with like 2
I'm built
randos.
for playing by myself, right? Like this is the build I'd be using if I was playing by myself, and they just happen to be holding their own, So again, you have a build for when you're synergizing, and you have a build for when you're playing by yourself. And I'm using the build I'd use if I was playing by myself, and it's working out, So. I mean, and Dimwey's all like, there's shiny god rolls, right? Yes, we know there's shiny god rolls, but if you're playing specifically to get a shiny god roll, you're gonna lose your mind, dude. Because you rarely ever get them, and then they're random shinies, and then you have to randomly get the one that you want. You have to hope it's shiny, and on top of that, you have to hope that it's got the roll that you want, dude. So it's like. It's not conducive to actually specifically farm for the shiny god rolls. Do they exist? Absolutely. Are you going to lose your mind? Again, absolutely. So just, don't even get hung up on it. If you get it, great. If you don't, well,
that's what I'm saying. I'm not getting hung up on it. But what I'm saying is that I could abandon playing Onslaught now and just pick it up in Final Shape once I've completed Final Shape and I'm waiting for I've done the episodes and I'm kind of just waiting for other stuff to do. I could then go and play Onslaught again. Once they put it in I think they're putting it in the Vanguard playlist, aren't they? Yep. And there'll be no difference from me kind of just constantly playing now to playing then, because I'm not getting the shinies now. I won't get the shinies then. And it's like, I can just enjoy playing the Onslaught mode that I'm enjoying playing now, then, but now I could focus on maybe doing Pantheon and learning, getting with teams and doing that, or finishing up some of my kind of seals, finishing up some of the triumphs and things before kind of the Final Shape comes along. I mean, I was looking at it like in the Helm. I haven't maxed out my rank with the Sonar Station. I haven't maxed out the rank with, I think it was the War Table. And they were the first kind of couple of seasons that, I mean, I've done all the stuff, I've got all the weapons, but I haven't maxed out the thing. So I need to go back and play some of those. But I like playing Onslaught, but there's no kind of shiny weapons there for me to kind of go, oh, this is an added bonus on top of it. So I could play Onslaught at another time and shift my priorities to kind of finishing some of the other things I want to kind of get done. Just saying, Bungie. Not saying that I'd definitely be guaranteed to get to level 30 and 40 and 50, but I'd give it a good try. I still haven't done a wave 50 yet at Legend.
Oh yeah, I barely have set foot into Legend. I just haven't. I've gotten to 50 a number of times with randos on regular, but haven't been nearly anywhere on Legend, and maybe I'll get a chance to, maybe not. It's just as with all things, sometimes I'm like, oh, I'll have so much time to play this, and then an entire week goes by and I don't turn the Xbox on. So you never know.
I mean, also the other thing is with that is the time that you spend away from the actual game doing game management, like looking at builds, then putting builds together in like the D2 armor picker, looking at the D2 foundry at what weapons that you should keep, and then going to dim to kind of sort out those weapons to go, right, I want to keep these ones I need to delete, these ones I need to infuse, or do I really need to infuse them because I've only got a couple of weeks left of the season? And it's all like, oh my God.
Do I want to delete this? Are they going to unsunset it all of a sudden? Is this going to be the next thing I need? Or just going, okay, I've got 15 forbearances or 20 hung juries now I've got to sort through. I certainly don't need all of those. Which ones do I want to keep? I wish there's part of me, again, it's a looter shooter, we understand this, but like I almost just wish I could just throw those into a different, give me a bigger postmaster. Can you just throw these into the holding pen and be like, listen, I'm not going to keep all these, but I need some time to sort them out because you give me no good way to do that in game. So can I just get 40 or 50 weapons and then sort them out and go, listen, we'll let you put 50 weapons here, but you can keep, 10 of them or, some number going. These are just here to be evaluated. And you have to sit and take the time to evaluate to go, well, let me see what's here and not just delete things haphazardly, or just delete things haphazardly and go, I don't know what that was, but it's gone now and I'll never know. So was it a god roll? Never know, but it's gone now and no longer my problem. As I'm staring down my vault of going, I really need to clear out a bunch of these stupid weapons. How many recluses does one man need? Not this many, I'll tell you that much. And then make triply sure I'm not deleting any shiny rolls by accident going, I think you're a shiny, but you look a little bit too similar in dim to the other ones. Let's triple check.
Yeah. And then now I'm kind of doing my pre-season kind of checklist stuff with Destiny recipes and going through kind of bounty prepping and what kind of going through kind of maxing out all the different things for that. Like going, oh, do I need it says I've only got 2 ascendant shards, so I need more ascendant shards. It says you need about 7 to kind of hit the kind of minimum and 25 enhancement cores and upgrade modules. It's like I'm on that kind of track of preparing for the final shape. So I've got all that to kind of do. And I can give you an answer of how many weapons I've got because it tells me here 434 weapons, 157 pieces of armor. And apparently it says I've got 107 slots. Obviously, they haven't seen my vault.
Not sure what numbers you guys are working with, but
are they? No, yeah, because that's.
Are they preemptively counting the final shape space?
Yeah, I think it is. It's preemptively counting so I've got 7 slots basically.
Yeah, I was gonna say that sounds more right.
Yeah, 7. There's 7 there. So yeah, if you didn't know about this, destinyrecipes.com, you can log in with your Bungie.net account and you can go through a pre-season checklist for coming up, and it will go through with you kind of what you kind of need to do to store your bounties. It'll tell you how much XP you've got if you keep some bounties that you've already kind of completed, and you'll turn them in when the final shape arrives, how much XP you're going to get on your reward track and your artifact bonus. And then it goes through kind of resources and things and looks at how many you've got and how many you kind of possibly need. So go and check that one out as well. I think it's always linked in our show notes, but it's always something nice to bring up as we kind of go through towards getting to the final shape, because we've got a month to go and there's so much to get done.
I can hear the growing stress in your voice as we get closer and closer. And you look down the barrel of all those things left undone and going, how many exotic weapon quests should I finish up? Which weapon should I take the time to go get?
The thing that bugs me about this is going back to the whole Pantheon thing, right?
Yeah.
I was baited into thinking you can get whatever exotic you want. I was like, well, I need the Necrochasm. I really don't feel like going in to get the last 4 thingamajiggers, right? I ended up doing it anyway because I did the Onslaught and I found out, wait a minute, I see Grasp of Malice. Is it Grasp? The Malice.
Grasp
Scout.
of Malice, yeah.
Yeah. And then the Eyes of Tomorrow. I'm like, I have both of these. Yes. Or I can get 3 golf balls. I'm like, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me?
Mm-hmm.
I got so baited, dude. I was like, oh, any exotic. Cool.
No, nobody told you it was any exotic. And if you'd watched our video,
I would have watched
the list was well known. Yeah. I hear there's this group that puts out videos on that YouTube that tell you about things.
I've heard that too.
So we have Noble who doesn't watch YouTube for reasons, and Respawn who just forgets YouTube exists and goes, I know I could get the information, but
Oh, well, I mean, I do like going into things blind, though. I like to be surprised, and sometimes that surprise is negative.
I will tell you that they will offer you Eyes of Tomorrow, Touch of Malice, Collector's Obligation, Conditional Finality, and 1,000 Voices.
Oh, all things that I have. Awesome.
Exactly. And that's what I'm saying. There's no incentive for you as a seasoned raider that's got these. I mean, maybe there's like the one or two or more than that, people that have done loads of raids and they haven't managed to get these exotics like the Eyes of Tomorrow. They've just done like 100 runs of that and they still haven't got it. So it's a perfect thing for them.
For us, it's the Adepts. I'm straight up 100% disclosure. It's the Adepts, dude. Yeah. But the problem with the Adepts, and it's a glaring one in my opinion, is that they are random AF. You have to first hope you get an Adept. Well, I'm sorry, no. Let's start from the beginning. You have to first beat the timer so you can get an Adept. So you have to do the really fast version of the raid mechanic, right? And then you have to hope, once you've beaten the timer, you have to hope that you get an Adept that you want. And then you have to hope that the Adept that you want has the role that you want. And the thing about it is it's not a random Adept from that raid that you're in the encounter of. It's a random Adept from any raid, which for some people is cool. Some people like the gotcha slot machine mechanic. I do not. I like to focus things. You know what I mean? So when I'm doing Atrax and I got a Vow of the Disciple Cataclysm Adept, I mean, it's got a bait and switch roll. It's a good... if we ever use it again, right? But I'm just like, wait a minute. Immersion breaking, what the hell is this? What's going on? We're not doing that raid. But yeah, so it's and then we have, I don't even know how many raids in the game, and you can get an Adept from any one of those guys. So it is a big pool of Adept weapons. And even if you already got the Adept weapon, it will still give you another copy of that Adept weapon. So you could potentially be getting an Adept weapon you don't even want. So it's just like, and that is a huge, huge glaring issue in my opinion. But yeah, so there it is. Oh, Hammerhead with Impact and Rewind? That's not bad. Give me all of the extra damages. Anyway. But yeah, so but you do get Adepts. You have to work for them. This is not an easy thing to do, right? Even somebody that's seasoned in raids, this isn't easy because they've added new stuff to screw with people specifically like me that do know what they're doing. Like, oh, you think you know what you're doing? Here's 2 invisible minotaurs to boop you in the back while you're catching gaze. Oh, you want to stand on that plate and kill the guy you're supposed to kill? Why don't I add a fire tornado while you're killing a yellow bar centurion? Yeah, that sounds fun. Oh, that same raid? Let me just go ahead and throw tormentors in there between boss phases. Like, yo, what's this? You know? But I see why they're doing it. They're doing it very specifically to screw with people like me. But they're also making it harder for new people that haven't done raids to come in and be able to do it, because they're adding more difficulties to an already taxing event if you don't know what's going on or you don't have a lot of experience what's going on. So, I mean, yeah, their design was to bring in more people, but like Nitedemon said, you need someone to teach those people how to do this, and you've made it even more difficult for these people coming in doing their raids for the first time. So, could have been done better. IMO, I don't have any suggestions on how to make it better. Maybe have a normal and then a legendary version so that, you know, the normal version doesn't have all the extra shenanigans, but the legendary does, right? I don't know, but if I was a new light, and I was joking with the guy last night who I'm convinced is a new light because he was in the raid with like 1740 weapons and armor. I'm like, what is this? You could literally go to Shaq's and get all 18 and 10 gear. What are you doing? Yeah. You know?
Go to the man, open the box. Right. At a bare minimum, go to the man, open the box, and get on light level.
Yeah. But that same dude, we were doing, not King's Fall, Crota's End, right? And we got to the end of the phase, after he goes into his enrage mode, and then you have to kill him real quick. We had 1 health left, and the same dude I was just talking smack about, he would get killed by a flowing leaf flying across the field, right? But somehow we all got hit with the raid mechanic that wipes everybody at the end. He stayed alive. And then we completed the raid. We got the necrochasm and all that other stuff, right? But we're just like, bro, did you just turn on your cheat mechanics? I need to see your program files right now, okay? Because whatever you just did, how did we all get wiped? And you, who's been dying, with a strong breath your direction, managed to survive a raid wipe mechanic. What?
He said, listen, I'll die to the easy stuff, but the hard stuff can't touch me.
Yeah. It was nuts, though. But yeah, so, new lights are a thing, and Bungie is not catering enough to them. We saw the Jez video where it does nothing to teach you how to play the game. And it's like, oh, you want a raid weapon? You want an adept weapon? Come do this activity, which is already difficult, and we've made it more difficult just for you. What?
Yeah, I mean, if you're a new light and you're in Pantheon, you've already gone about 6 steps in the wrong direction. I mean, this is not where you should be ending up. This is like going day 1. Oh, let's go play Trials. I've heard Trials is a fun PvP mode.
Right?
No, this is not at all what this was designed for. I keep thinking about this. When it was revealed, it was going to be 6 weeks. It was a month of game basically, and then they're like, okay, we're going to take this out again. I just wonder what are they testing? What are they playing with to go? You're gonna do all the work on this. You're gonna put in for a very limited time. Is there something in the final shape coming? Maybe that'll be that'll use this. Is this a thing we might have? Is this another rotator event? Hey, we might bring this back as part of some event other than the same events we've been doing for 10 years.
Right.
I don't know. Or they're just like, hey, we want to try some raid mechanic changes. Let's throw it into the pool for 6 weeks and see what happens. We need all the data.
Speaking of raid mechanics, I helped some other guys do Last Wish because I was bored, and some people still don't have 1K voices. What? Anyway, so they asked for help. So we went in there, and we did the whole thing. And at the end, somehow, some dude was able to open every single chest in the room. Every chest. In the ribbon, in the Last Wish, Last Encounter, where you got all those steps with all those chests, and you got to pick one and hope you get 1K or 10K voice, whatever. The
1K
exotic, right?
Yeah.
And
he saved up his keys then, hasn't
he? He claims he didn't. He claims he did it, right? But none of us could open extra chests. But he's like, this one and this one and this one and this one and this one. I'm like, I don't even know how many chests is in there. I didn't count.
Did he actually get it though? Did he get it?
I don't actually know. I took a screenshot and then I dipped out because I couldn't believe this was happening. I'm gonna put it in the chat right now. I want to show you that this was actually a thing. Look at this.
He clipped all the coupons and brought them to the grocery store and said, "I'll be saving on everything, please." Yes.
So I came across a guy that can't be killed in a white mechanic. I came across another guy that just has a skeleton key for everything. What is going on in Destiny lately? This is nuts.
You've been raiding with Bungie's QA team. Unbeknownst to you, the guys trying to get through it were actually just the QA team going, we're going to try some things. And as a psychological
feedback, yeah,
as a psychological experiment on the other people in here who don't know what's going on, and see just how much they freak out when he survives a white mechanic and opens every chest. And there were 6 other things you did notice that also happened.
Yeah, I mean, you're probably right. There were probably other shenanigans that were going on that I didn't notice, but that is blatantly obvious. Let me open every chest, or let me survive a white mechanic. I'm just like, what is going on in Destiny right now? And that might be because what you said. It might be a whole new encounter, or they've screwed up the current encounter, getting ready for the new encounter. So guys, you can just open all the chests. Go ahead, go. You got a 1K voices? Doesn't matter. Go open all the chests. You'll get one.
Just out of bound your way to the room now, and just the chests are all there, unlocked, ready for you to open. Just walk in, you'll be fine.
Can you do that? Is that still a thing? You can out of bounds your way in?
I have no idea.
This is your weekly rundown of Season 23, Week 24, Season of the Wish. This week sees Destiny 2 introduce 3 new Crucible maps into the PvP sandbox, and Bungie have teamed up with Relic to develop 3 very cool callout map overviews of each location, going over area names, zones, spawn locations, and ammo crates. These maps will be placed into their own separate 3v3 playlist called New Territory, which will replace the 3v3 quick play node and feature the following game modes: Survival, Elimination, Clash, and Collision. Also, any Guardian that engages with the playlist will be awarded with a new Slaycation emblem. Continuing this week is Destiny 2's limited time event PvE challenge, Pantheon, in which you will have to face down a gauntlet of Destiny 2's raid bosses, which escalate in the number of bosses, difficulty, and rewards each week. If you'd like to know more about Pantheon, then click the link at the top of the screen. Week 2's bosses are Golgoroth from King's Hall 3rd encounter, Caretaker from Val the Disciple's 2nd encounter, Zorak from Root of Nightmare's 3rd encounter, Atrax 1 from Deepstone Crypt's 2nd encounter, and Oryx, final boss from King's Fall. Also continuing this week, we have the Horde game mode Onslaught. If you're unfamiliar, Onslaught is Destiny 2's new PvE wave-based defense activity, where 3 Guardians defend the last city from increasingly difficult waves of the Witness's forces. To find out more, check out our Onslaught Explained link at the top of the screen. For our Legacy rotation, the Dreaming City this week is at a medium curse level, Petrovenge will be in the Devilian Mists with the Oracle Engine mission. The Blindwell features Hive enemies and the Plague, Korregar. The Ascendant challenge will be the Shattered Ruins over in the Spine of Keris. On the Moon, the weekly story mission is a Mysterious Disturbance. The Trove Guardian is located in the Anchor of Light, while the Wandering Nightmare is the Nightmare of Zordal in Sorrow's Harbour. Nightmare hunts Crota, Despair, Omnigul, Anguish, and Fanatic Insanity. On Europa this week, Phylax the Warrior will be the Empire Hunt, Asterian's Abyss will be the Eclipse Zone, and the Exo Challenge will be Agility. Days of Eternity Legendary rounds are Fallen, Hive, and Zydron. The Scatterhorn armor set and the Lightkin armor set will be available in Days of Eternity with Weapon Set 3, Chroma Rush, Ignition Code, Grid Skipper, Farewell, Sonja's Tale, Shattered Cipher, Main Ingredient, Long Shadow, Last Dance, Toil and Trouble, Wishbringer, and Last Perdition. The Witch Queen weekly story mission is The Ghosts, Altar of Reflection's Choice, and Altar of Reflection's Insight. The Lightfall weekly mission is Breakneck, the Partition mission will be Ordnance, and the Vex incursion will be Umshire Park. The Corota's End raid challenge this week is the 2nd encounter Cross the Bridge, called Precarious Balance. The Root of Nightmare's raid challenge this week is the 3rd encounter Macrocosm, called Cosmic Equilibrium. The King's Fall raid challenge this week is the 1st encounter Totems, called The Grass is Always Greener. The Val the Disciple challenge this week is the 4th encounter Rogue, called Looping Catalyst. The Vault of Glass challenge this week is the 2nd encounter Oracles, called The Only Oracle for You. The Garden of Salvation challenge this week is the 2nd encounter Spy Defense, called A Link to the Chain. And the Last Wish challenge this week is the 1st encounter Kali, called Summoning Ritual. The Pinnacle raid will be the Deepstone Crypt over on Europa, with all challenges available for each encounter, and the exotic rocket launcher Eyes of Tomorrow being farmable from the final boss. The Pinnacle dungeon will be the Pit of Heresy over on the Moon, and the exotic mission rotator will be Vox Obscura, with the Dead Messenger exotic grenade launcher being the main reward. The Season of the Risen weapon set, plus the Tusk Allegiance armor set. And the exotic mission, the Whisper, is available over in the Interlight node. Lost Sectors, Tuesday Gilded Precept on Neptune for exotic helmets, Wednesday Scavenger's Den on the EDZ for exotic boots, Thursday Skydot 4 on the EDZ for exotic gauntlets, Friday The Quarry on the EDZ for exotic chests, Saturday Aphelios Rest on the Dream City for exotic helmets, Sunday Bay of Drowned Wishes on the Dreaming City for exotic boots, and Monday Chamber of Starlight on the Dreaming City for exotic gauntlets. Also, this week's weapon rotation will start on set 2 on Tuesday's reset. Our 24th featured Nightfall will see face off against Once Virus the Exhumed Tether in the Highest Battlegrounds Moon, with the Periastian X4 bow being the featured weapon. The 6v6 control node will feature Control, Team Scorched in the Party Relentless playlist, the New Territory Gang rotation in the 3v3 playlist, Hardware Supremacy in Crucible Labs, and Trials of Osiris at the weekend, with bonus Crucible ranks available all week long. And as a reminder, we still have Riven's Wishes and Moments of Triumph 2023. Also, don't forget, with us moving to the final few weeks of the season, this is your reminder to start collecting all of your Season of the Wish Pass items, any items left over from Season of the Witch Season Pass from Bungie.net, any Into the Light items from the Hall of Champions Shacks and our site 9940, any items from the Helm vendors, Season 20's War Table, Season 21's Sonar Station, Season 22's Ritual Table and a Lectern of Divination, Season 23's Spirit of Riven, and Riven's Wishes Mara Salve. Plus your reward track items and engrams from Banshee 44, Gunsmith, Shax, Crucible, Zavala, Vanguard, Drifter, Gambit, and Saint 14 Trials. Grab these before the end of the season as they will reset and you will lose all items when the final shape begins. Don't forget you can start completing and hoarding bounties to get a leg up on XP, reward track items, and artifact progression for the final shape. Plus, don't forget your free pile of 700 Bright Dust from the Eververse store. And that's it for the 24th week of Season of the Wish.
Oh, happy times. Okay, we should probably look at TWAB because I'm getting very distracted right now.
Okay, well, let's look at the TWAB. Hi, TWAB. How are you doing? I'm doing fine.
All right. You know,
I'm a TWAB of good information. I'm not full of wallpapers this week, so something must have happened.
Well, I've already done a lot of this information because I've gone over the new mode that's going to have our new maps in this week in a nice little YouTube video. And I've put the maps in there for you to kind of go over. But basically, we're getting our 3 new maps that they've promised for a very long time. So we've got Eventide Labs, and we've got Sirius Plaza, and Dissonance. So these are our 3 new maps that are coming to PvP. They'll be placed into their own playlist. So 3v3 playlist, they say it's gone, but it's not. It's still there. But it's now going to have these 3 maps, and it's going to have the 3v3 playlist stuff rotating. So we're going to have like Survival. We're going to have
3v3 Clash.
3v3 Clash. There's going to be Collision and Elimination. So all the 3v3 stuff. So it's going to be the 3v3 playlist in its own, with its own maps, and it's going to be called a New Territory. And even if you dip one little toe in there, one little pinky, and play for a little bit and go, no, this isn't for me, I don't like these maps, you're going to get the new Slaycation emblem, which looks pretty cool. Very Crucible-fied. Respawn, is this Respawn approved? I don't know where you are in the TWAB. Q Respawn.
What?
Respawn's nowhere in the TWAB.
Hey, let's talk about the TWAB, and I'm going to leave the room.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. I got like 12 kids and 1 wife. Okay, so
no, yeah, but you've got a wife and
a sister.
The wife's sister. Yeah.
Yeah. See, so there's double. She's got reinforcements.
Well, she has no reinforcements currently. All right, what did you ask me though?
Nothing. Don't worry.
What?
Do you approve? Is it Respawn approved emblem for the what should we call it? The Slaycation emblem.
If it didn't have a crucible symbol on there, yes.
Okay.
I do like the color scheme and the bullets, though. I do like that. That's pretty cool.
Bungie teamed up with Relic, who developed quite a lot of the callout maps way back when. I think when we first had Destiny 2. This is what it looks like from the top-down view, and all the different locations, the callouts, and the locations for now of where the ammo crates are. I mean, they could change over time, as we found. There's been a lot of changes in PvP. So they've put these in the 12 for you to kind of have a look at. I've also put it in our little video this week if you want to have a look at that, and the link to the 12 in there as well. So there's some pretty cool out places, and I'm looking forward to playing all of these. I'm definitely going to dip my toe into that playlist to just play these maps and see how they kind of feel. And I think it's going to be quite nice to play 3v3s on here because it'll give you a bit more kind of space to have a look round and get shot in the back of the head, basically, while somebody else takes it a little bit more serious. Yep. But you can go into private matches once these kind of games release, and they will also be integrated into the normal playlists as well. So you will see them in the other playlists, but this playlist, New Territories, is going to be the place that you can just guaranteed play these 3 maps over and over again, and the game modes over and over again. Again, don't know how the game modes are going to work. It's probably going to be like they had before, where we had to rotate between Clash and Control. You never know if you're going to get Clash, 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 and then maybe one Collision, and then maybe one Survival, and then go back to Clash, Clash, Clash again. So it could be that. It's luck of the draw, basically, but you're going to get these maps. So you may get the same map over and over again for a while, and then it'll rotate.
You will. You definitely will, because randomness is not a thing. You'll be like, I hear there's 3 new maps. I've seen 2 of them. The 3rd one simply doesn't exist. Now, which one that's going to be? That's the surprise.
And the funny thing is, with Bungie now teaming up with Relic to put these into the TWAB for you to actually look at the callouts, a lot of people were talking about this and going, oh, this is really cool. I remember this back when. And then, again, talking about Gears of War and like with Onslaught being a copy of like the Horde there, the top-down views of these maps are very similar to Gears, because if you push down a certain button on your controller as you're in a PvP match, you can see a top-down view of the map, the locations, and you can see your team, the little dots where your team's running around. You can't see the enemy team, obviously, but it gives you a top-down look of the map. And you can also do that in the Horde mode as well. So I was just thinking maybe they should go one step further with Relic and actually develop these to be in the game, so you can kind of hold down like one of your menu buttons or push something on your controller to bring this up if you're in a safe space, and you can have a look at the map, see where your team are, and that will help you kind of get to.
Nobody's gonna memorize these call outs, dude. Nobody.
No, but that's what I'm saying. I'm saying if it was in the game and you pushed a button that you could bring it up at a flash to see this top-down view and say, oh, well, that's where my team are running to. I need to go and follow them. It's brilliant in Gears. And what I'm saying is they should integrate this. Integrate? Is that the word?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah.
Integrate this into the actual game.
Right. It'd be nice because, like, while I'm running around the map, I'm not gonna glance in the corner of my screen and go, "Oh, where am I now? What is this room called?" No. If I had a map where I could look at and go, "Oh, I'm in this room," I could at least remember instead of, "Hey, I'm A, B, and C," which are my callouts for everything.
Yes, basically.
And then if you play with someone who's like, "I don't play PvP, I don't know where that is," you're like, "Well, then I can't help you." You don't know where you are either. But yeah, it would at least be nice to have a set of callouts to go, "No, this is what this is," and I don't have to go seek out a map. But yeah, like people who play a lot of PvP know the callouts and communicate well. And then there's me going, "Yeah, no, I'm over here and now I'm dead, so it doesn't really matter." Watch out, they're everywhere. They're going to win. But yeah, I like seeing the map from the top-down view anyway, just getting a better sense of like where things are. I'm still going to run around the map being completely lost for the first forever, but I kind of enjoy that like initial nobody knows this map well because we all just got it, as opposed to the people who've been playing this map for 10 years going, "I know every nook and cranny and every sight line, and you're shooting me from a position I didn't even know existed." So, I mean, I'm excited just to play it anyway, but I'm excited to play it from that, where we can all sort of be new at the same time perspective. I sort of miss a little bit of that. And Respawn will get drug in there by Micah at some point, and he'll be like, "Look, I've PvP'd. I did it."
Micah's not talking to me right now. we were doing Pantheon, and he had to change a diaper, and he was gone for more than it takes to change a diaper. So
no, you can't say that because some diapers or nappies take a little bit longer, especially if it goes all up their back and you have to change the whole outfit. Trust me, been there 5 times, know the drill. It can take longer than 2 seconds, and sometimes it can just take 10 seconds.
But we got Coffee to come do Pantheon with us, and we completed it with Coffee without Micah. I think he was a little butthurt. I ain't heard from him since that day.
I can't imagine why.
I actually did one run of Onslaught, and we got the bug to happen where everybody died, and it didn't send us back to orbit. But somebody left as soon as we died.
No.
And me and the other guys spawned back in. I was like, "No, don't turn it off. We've got the perfect bug."
No. This is winning. This is winning.
This is winning. And then
you don't watch cheese, and it shows.
Yeah, and he left as well, and I couldn't dismantle both bombs at the same time.
Right. Oh, that's devastating.
Yeah. Otherwise, I would have esoteric that kind of stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. Put that clip on there and even be like, "This is me soloing the 50 levels of Onslaught. Look at me go."
Yeah, because it was on legend difficulty, and I was like, "Damn it! I could have got to."
Oh, that's where you wanted to happen.
Yes.
That sucks. Devastating. Yeah. Oh.
But should we talk a bit more about Pantheon? Because they did a deep dive on their bosses with some pictures. So they have got some more wallpapers. You lied to the people, Peroty. There are wallpapers of the bosses.
Are they though? Or are they just like, big bios? Are they wallpapers? I don't think they're wallpapers. They're just pretty pictures. There's not even a mobile version. Come on, if there's no mobile version, there's no wallpaper.
So the classification for Golgoroth is he's a hive. Did you know he's a hive?
No.
Shocking.
Blood of Oryx. He's an ogre, and then it says worm. He has a void.
Did you know that he wants to be a florist? Did you know Golgoroth wants to be a florist?
Well, he's in the wrong profession.
Flowers.
Does he?
Well,
he's got a venomous gaze. He's got monstrous strength and durability. And they kind of go into the details a bit more of kind of backgrounds of each character. Ogres are forged through torturous trials and dark rituals formed from corrupted and deformed thralls known as unborn, and they only know pain and the conditions to hate and despise the light. So, if he was only just brought into the light and given a hug, he may get over it. And I didn't know that we'd recovered his remains with the Tablet of Ruin. So we've got one Tablet of Ruin. I personally haven't got it. Maybe Zavala's got it, or Shax has got it, kind of buried deep down by the Hall of Champions somewhere. So yeah, if you want to know more, there's some more stuff in the TWAB. We're not going to cover it because
it doesn't really help you with. I mean,
it doesn't. No, it doesn't. Like, if it helps you in the game to go, you know what? If I know these classifications,
and yeah.
Well, I suppose we could go over the hazards, right? The hazards for the caretaker. He's got scale drone swarms, overcharged ether blast, and he's scar dematerialization. What's that got to do with anything? Scar whatever that word is, and
he's got a lot of scar tissue.
Yeah, he's I'm reading about the caretaker because it says his hazards, so this might be helpful for people to know his hazards.
Oh, sacred.
And Atrax has got a modified shock rifle. That's interesting to know. Atrax has got a modified shock rifle. Extinction protocol.
They will chase you to the ends of the earth to hit you. So
he's self-replication.
Resistance.
He's got self-replication and teleportation and stasis empowerment. So there you go.
So he'll freeze you and he'll shoot you to death.
And really, really confusing is that they've done Atrax before they've done Zorak, because Zorak comes before Atrax. But his hazards, he's got Cabal magma launchers, searing beam, columns of flames, magma launcher compression blast, paracausal shielding, and resonance empowerment. Ooh. There you go. And then there's the Bungie rewards for Pantheon. You can get a hard seal and a ring. Looks really cool. Looks very similar to the other ring that was available before. Wasn't that the same ring? With the
first one, yeah, the first raid ring.
Because you could take the sword out of the skull. That's right, yeah. So that's available again. I completed the last one, so do I not? I'm not eligible for this one because the last one was do all those raids, and I did all those raids. I've got the emblem, so can I not just because the ring's now available again? Can I not get it again? I'm saying because the ring's now available again, can I now not get the ring again now? Because I did the last kind of challenge. I now have to do this other challenge.
Yep.
Okay.
That was the last one. This is the new one.
Oh, yes.
You didn't buy it when it was available, so now you have to earn it again.
So this special Bungie offer is available for purchase only to players who complete all encounters from any tier of the Pantheon in Destiny 2 by June 3rd. The Godslayer title pin will also be available for purchase via the Bungie rewards for players who complete the Godslayer title by June 3rd. So yeah, that's that in a nutshell.
Now we know who we're going to be fighting or not fighting.
We don't, because we're all going to be fighting Rahul next season. I'm not sure that I actually agree with this change, Bungie.
Rahul's frequent decryptor program. We gave him a track too, and now he's got a track. So now you can go earn the things and then make the track go up. And then once the track goes up, you can then have things as opposed to waiting for them to drop in the game and going, "Ooh, I got a thing." Yeah.
Right.
They're taking out the randomness of exotics now. So whereas you could go to I was going to say escalation protocol. That was a long time ago. The Vex incursion, incursion, and the legendary lost sectors to target farm your exotics for specific days for the lost sectors, or if it's the new exotic for the season, you can go and do the Vex protocol and get it to drop there. They're taking that away. You can't do that anymore.
No more lost sectors.
Well, no, lost sectors will still be a thing apparently, but they'll give you an engram. You get an exotic engram, which you could then take to the tower and throw at Rahul.
You know what's even less exciting than? Are we allowed to have loot anymore, or do we just have to have tokens? Like I understand they want us to go to the carnival and then win the small prizes and then take them to the vendor to get the big prizes. Like how many small stuffed animals do I need for the big stuffed animal?
I don't honestly think.
I just want things to drop in activities. I want to feel the joy of going, look at this thing, I got it, and then making fun of someone who didn't get it. Like that's the joy of Destiny 1, of going, I got a thing and you didn't. Look, I'm at the bottom of this PvP match and I got the exotic and you got garbage. And now it's gone. It's lost.
I don't think that they get the fact that we like playing the game.
No,
because I don't want to be standing in a tower throwing engrams at Rahul to go, right, I want this one, unless I'm trying to focus like a specific role of an exotic that I've already got that I just want a different role on. to see if I can make more points go up on the build. Okay. They say the experience of grinding out new exotic armor can be time-consuming process, but it can also be fun. The idea is you go to the legendary lost sectors, you go to the master lost sectors. You've given us reasons to go there, to go and get an exotic, to get a chance at an exotic, to get enhancement cores, enhancement shards, and not raid weapon, and get world weapons that some of them are very good, like the heliocentric sidearm. And now you're taking something out of that. You're giving. I know you're giving us still an engram, Bungie, but the idea is that we play the game, we get the loot to drop. Not everybody should get it straight away. I still haven't got the Cadmus Lance Ridge Cap from a couple of seasons back for my Titan. When an exotic is very tangible, that I really, really want that weapon, that exotic, like the Pyrogale Gauntlets, I went and played Legendary Lost Sectors and Master Lost Sectors until I got one to drop. And, I was getting stuff out of it. I was playing the game. I wasn't kind of just going, I'll do one of those, get an engram, wander back to Rahul and go, oh yeah, there you go, that's it. That's not playing the game. I thought we've moved beyond this. We've gone from one extreme of scarcity of shiny weapons in Onslaught to here's an exotic that's meant to be exotic, but you can take it to this guy and he'll give you exactly what you want.
And on top of that, you get to manage more resources. You get to have another thing you get to go manage.
I think that's because of our exotic class items. Because we're going to be farming the heck out of those. We're going to need a way to do it. And this is probably how you do it. So you can get that god roll, double roll that you want. That's what I'm guessing. I could be way off, but that's what I'm guessing.
I think you're probably right. But would you feel more rewarded for playing the game to get one of these to drop in the world? Just, when you get an exotic engram to drop and you pick it up and it can be one of those new class items, or do you just want an exotic engram to go, here you go, Rahul, let's roll the dice with you instead? It's more fun.
I'm a bad example because I want to get what I want now.
Yeah,
I like getting.
Yeah, but you want to get it in the activity. You want to finish the activity and have it drop so you can scream, "Oh my god, I finally got the thing," or "Oh my god, I got the roll that I wanted." Not, "Oh, I got a token to take to a band to go. Well, let's give the band the token and see what the token becomes." Like, the biggest thing I miss out of Destiny 1 is that end game reward screen where you can see what you and the rest of your team got.
Yeah,
and just even if you're just playing solo and PvP, and you're going, "How did that person get a Gallahorn to drop?" It just is a PvP match. What? Why? Or how did you get? How did you get an exotic? You got one kill.
Worse than the lobby, obviously.
Right. Yeah. I mean that's how it rewards you, of course. So that's how the algorithm works. But I enjoyed seeing what other people got. When the raid finished, seeing, hey, here's what everybody ended up with. Oh, you got the 1,000 voices and you got nothing. Like it was fun to see and have those community moments of seeing what people had and seeing what people didn't have, or going, I've been trying to get that and you've gotten 4 of these to drop in the last week. I hate you. Like there's just like taking things back to the vendor to turn in. It's I mean, at least we're not. At least I'll say. At least I hope we're not. Having more things to physically hold on to. Now it's just, hey, take it to the vendor. It's on the track. Go turn in the things. But I miss being rewarded for the activity I'm playing, not playing. Because it's almost like what's the point of doing anything if it's all just going to result in a token? It's like, okay, you've got a bunch of tokens. Now I can go bring them back and turn them into things. Like I miss reasons to play things for the, I don't know, for the thing to drop. As I've been looking at my inventory going, there's a lot of things I have to go turn in and deal with. And I'm just tired of managing all the things. My looter shooter suddenly needs another spreadsheet. I mean, I know it's always needed a spreadsheet, but now it needs a spreadsheet going, okay, well, he's getting pretty full. I really should go turn in some of those things with Rahul and see if I can get the thing. I don't know. Yeah. I'm just rambling now.
Well, starting in the final shape, Rahul is going to be the source for any new exotic armor that they release. When you first talk to Rahul after the final shape launches, he will introduce you to the new rewards program tied to his brand new reputation track. So their idea is simple. The more engrams that you decode with him, the more you will increase your reputation with him. as kind of how it kind of goes in all the other reward tracks, Bungie. But once you've completely filled the reputation track once and reset your rank, Rahul will allow you to join his elite club and give you access to a new tier of focusing. Ooh. And we will be called Engram Insiders. With this, you'll be able to purchase any piece of exotic armor for any character on your account for 1 exotic engram and 1 exotic cipher, in addition to the previous focusing options that you already had. Because this is tied to Rahul's new reputation track, there is no weekly limit to using the tier of focusing, as long as you still have the exotic ciphers and engrams. You can keep re-rolling, basically.
Yeah. I don't think the people are happy about this one.
No. Because with that, they're also altering the way that you could the way that you do it now. Like we were saying with the lost sectors and things. So lost sectors will still keep the same drop rates with the exotics, but they will drop an engram instead of the gear. And Neomuna will still have exotic armor when you complete a Vex Strike Force encounter, but they won't be adding any new armor to the drops after the Season of the Wish. So you can still go there and get old armor pieces like from now and beforehand, but not the new stuff and anything going forward.
We're not happy.
Ta-da.
We're not happy with that at all.
and I know Respawn, you're asking Bungie, you're saying, well, Bungie, how long will it take to get this newfangled tier focusing unlocked? Because I'm going for world's first. And they're not going to go into exact numbers, but given that most reputation will be precision decryption, aka tier 2 focusing, followed by advanced decryption, then opening exotic engrams, and the last will be prime engrams. So if you want to be raid ready for the witness, then make sure you stock up on exotic engrams, ascendant shards before June 4th, because apparently it's going to be quite quick to get to his rank 16. So I've seen a lot of people kind of storing exotic engrams now, kind of getting 10 in their track, and then some, because you can overflow in the postmaster as well. Some people can. Some people have got space in the postmaster and on themselves, and other people are still holding on to eerie engrams on some of their characters for when we have that come back around, which you cannot decrypt, Rahul.
Some people, not to name any names.
Not to name any names. Oh, saying that, I'm just looking back on my vault. I came across a really cool weapon this week. I know I think a lot of people have talked about it, and it's one that I've been kind of saving 2 or 3 different rolls of. The Ross Argo, I think it's the Ross Argo 4, and the one that I just had equipped on me was Onslaught and Rewind rounds, and it did fantastic. You know, I got a kill. Like I killed a little minion, red bar, and then it just would go to town and just keep procking over and over again with the rewind rounds. And I've now got one with deconstruction and rewind rounds that I'm going to go and try, because I'm like, oh, that's interesting. I also had one with Onslaught and Subsistence, but this one with rewind rounds and Onslaught did amazing in Onslaught. Anyway, I just thought I'd throw that out there.
As it was meant to. Yeah, that's still a weapon I'm like, low-key hunting, because you can't, it's a world drop, so it just comes from places. But every time I get one to drop, I sort of hold my breath going, are you going to be good or are you going to be junk?
Yeah.
I really like it.
And it's the same with those heliocentric sidearms that I think it's True Vanguard that keeps going on about. And I'm looking for I think it's the Kill Clip, Hill Clip one, but I've got every other version. And I did a Master Lost Sector this week because it was one of the ones I had to kind of do on the track for. I think it was
and it's not craftable, right? It's just a drop. Okay. It was
part of the Riven's Wishes things that I hadn't done Legend Lost Sector kills or something, and they turned back up on the Dreaming City, so you get more progress. So I went and did a master one, and I got one to drop at the end. And literally, I came out of the Lost Sector. There was an engram on the floor from where I kind of maybe run over somebody, and I picked it up, and it was another heliocentric. I was like, okay.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's part of the rotation on the Lost Sectors too.
I know why I got it in the Lost Sector, but I didn't know. Right. I mean, I was like, well, you've given me now one outside as well. I mean, they weren't the ones I was looking for, but it was just nice to kind of get 2 in a go and see if I can roll with the slot machine.
It was
unlike Rahul.
Buy one, get one free day. You got one, you got another one. Yeah, I got a Heal Clip, Kill Clip roll that I haven't taken anywhere to use yet, but I've got one to drop, and I'm going, okay, now I can delete the rest of these because that's the one that everyone says I should have. But haven't been back in the PvP since.
So I think that's all that's happening in the final shape, isn't it? There's nothing else to kind of talk about.
No, that's it.
Yeah.
No. There's this thing here. They said the words about a shader icon revamp. Answer me one question.
Oh my God!
Will I be able to finally see what colors the shader are, or do I get to guess? Follow-up question: can I search for any of them?
You can't search for them, but you will be able to see all the various colors on the shader with the final shape. I wasn't aware of this, and I'm guessing you guys weren't aware of this, because we've always questioned this. We went from Destiny 1 with having the circles, and there was 3 different colors on the circles, to Destiny 2 with having it broken up into 4, so we could see the 4 different colors. And we always just assumed that was the shader and those were the colors, and if we put it on certain pieces of armor, it would kind of give us those colors. But then we would get things like Jacarina, which was black and white and grey, would suddenly have a blue, a lovely little blue in there. And you'd be like, where has this blue come from? Well, it turns out there's about 6 colors in these shaders, and they've only ever shown us 4. It's like, whose decision was this? Who made that decision? You've got up to 6 colors, and you've given us 4. Now, I'm no mathematician, but I'm sure I could have broken that up to do basically what they've shown us now, to show us what we could have looked like. Why has it taken 6-7 years to get to this stage? Just asking for a friend, and that's Peroty.
Yeah, there's so many questions I have about just the basics of this game. Of why can I not search? Why up until recently could I not favorite things? Why do I have to go through 7 pages of semi-randomly assigned things to find the one I'm looking for? Just these little, and that's whether we're getting a Destiny 3 or whether Destiny 2 is just going to live on for however long it lives on for. At some point, I would like the quality of life updates. At some point, you're going to say, listen, you've all been playing this game for a while. You have a lot of things. Let me find the things I've gotten. Let me not have to go and page through and going, I think this was on page 6 or maybe it was on page 7, but I'm not really sure where it is.
You can favorite them now, buddy. Don't you know that? You can make favorites now.
I can. That's assuming I can find it. Yeah, then can I just hide the rest of them? Can I just say, listen, never show me the rest of these again? I don't care about them. I've never worn them. I don't want to see them. Can you show me ones I've put on in the past? Can you show me anything that I have equipped on currently? Just little things that, again, like it's on, I'm sure, the bottom of someone's to-do list. It'll never get touched because it's not, no one out here is really asking for it. No one's going to go, I'm going to never come back unless we get this, but just little tiny things. And like, if we are getting a Destiny 3, could we maybe pretty please have like some of these things just out of the box day one? All these things that have annoyed us for 10 years, could we fix those? Just asking again for a friend.
Right.
So when Respawn goes to find his Respawn has the shader he needs, so he can really delete the rest of his shaders.
Yeah.
Well, yes and no. It looks so crap on metal, though. It's so bad. like when you put it on cloth, you get the blacker than black effect. Yes, it's amazing on some cloth. On other cloth, what's it called? I don't have it on right now. But on most cloth, it looks amazing. But the fact that it's not as black as you can get on everything is super sad.
I did see a very good use for the super black shader. Somebody had it on one of the weapons from the Nezarec raid. So I think it was on the Rufus's Fury Adept. And
I have it on that one. Yeah.
When you see it on the weapon, it's black, and then as soon as you start shooting it, it kind of glows down the side, doesn't it, with all the pinks and things. And then when you stop firing, it kind of disappears again. I thought it was really cool.
Because it is.
That was from a raid encounter where somebody actually was talking, but we still didn't get through Golgoroth.
Nobody talks in raid encounters. What raids are you playing?
Yeah.
Why do you need to talk to each other? Come on, you're just meant to be there and just be bask in the proximity of other guardians.
Oh, okay. I thought you were talking about the PvP strike team, because they like to do some talking. They've done a lot of talking because there's been a lot of complaints and a lot of questions asked of the PvP strike team of why have we moved away from having the ammo system, the special ammo system, where we kind of built up our little meter, and now we've gone to crates around the map. And why are the crates here? Why are the crates there? Why are they doing all these different things? And they've gone into a very long, detailed explanation of why we've moved away from the meter system to the crate system, and why we are sticking with the crate system for now anyway. But then it gets better. We're going to the blended 1-1-1 system.
So we had an understandable system. We're going to have another understandable system, but now we're going to blend those and confuse everyone again.
But I think you're getting it. But what it boils down to is there's been a lot of balance issues and technical issues behind the scenes of spawning the ammo in, and people like just generating so much ammo for themselves and things like that. So they're trying to combat so many different issues, and they've gone into a very long, detailed explanation of why we're kind of sticking with the crate system for now. I'm really confused at, because when we had the crate system in Destiny 1, people didn't like it. Sorry, this is all PvP stuff. And it was one of those things where it got to the end of Destiny 1 and people were like, we don't want that. And we've been playing Destiny 2 for quite some time with PvP. I'm not sure whether the crate system or the building up of the meter system is any better than what we had originally, where people would just spawn in with their like 2 or 3 ammo that we kind of get, and then you pick it up as people die. I mean, I'm not seeing the benefit from either version of them. I don't know about you guys. How do you feel playing any kind of PvP?
I haven't actually experienced. Yeah, like I haven't experienced the crate system in D2, only in D1. But I never go into PvP with special ammo anyway, unless I'm playing Mayhem or want to run a Wither Horde just to be irritating, because I was tired of losing it to other people who are just going to use it to murder me.
With more shotguns.
So we're going to have a blended system that they're going to take parts from both kind of the meter system and the crate system, and they're going to combine them to solve the problems they introduced by each system individually. Players will respawn each life with 1 kill's worth of special ammo for their chosen weapon, and this serves as a stopgap for players, making sure that they are never going to be going a long time without any kind of ammo. Setting the ammo to at least 1 instead of 2's worth of kills ensures that there will be no surplus of special ammo that is available for a minimum effort.
Okay, no. No, there's not going to be a surplus with crates everywhere.
No, but
such BS.
All primary weapon final blows will drop a personal ammo brick that awards 1 kill's worth of special ammo. This is the deterministic kind of earnable method of distributing ammo that blends with the system that kind of they've got in the place at the moment. And crates will continue to exist, but their icon visible range on the HUD has been decreased and will only provide a single kill's worth of special ammo when opened. So that's what they mean by a blended. So you will still get some for kills worth of using your primary ammo, and there will still be crates available on the field. But yeah.
So if I get a kill with a primary weapon,
pick up a crate,
I personally will get one brick of special ammo. So basically, I'm rewarded for how well I perform with my primary weapon with a single special weapon.
Yes,
worth of ammo. And there will be crates that will also give me an additional 1 kill worth of ammo. And I'll have to be closer to see those crates. So basically, which really, for the people who play, they'll learn where they spawn in the 3 locations, and then that'll be solved. But if you don't know, or maybe they're going to randomize them more, and so it'll actually matter that you can't see when they're there. But
I think these kind of systems should be in place in things like trials, because that's and competitive. Because in 6s and in Mayhem and in Iron Banner and things like that, it really didn't matter the system that we had. It was just, it's meant to be fun. In competitive, I could see that this is where these need to be kind of implemented, a bit more skill. Like you get your primary weapon kill, you've managed to secure the crate. So yeah. But in all the normal game modes, I don't think this kind of needs to be implemented. But they need a test bed, I guess, for these. So maybe they'll kind of take them out of those 6v6 playlists, and maybe they won't. But this system isn't going to be introduced until sometime after the launch of the final shape. And they greatly appreciate our patience and feedback. So when it's in effect, give them feedback.
Bungie, when you roll it out, explain it in those same 2 sentences I just used to explain it. Don't give us a bunch of tricky words or unclear language or just random bits of text to be like, well, if the moon is full and you've got a special ammo in your left hand. No, just use the small words to explain to us what you're doing. Like, just be clear.
I kind of want to hear the end of that. It's the moon is full. You have a special weapon in your left hand. You're standing on your tippy toes while turning clockwise.
If there's a hunter on your left and a warlock on your right, then you're going to get 1 brick of special ammo for these weapon types. However, for those weapon types, it's going to be this. Like, just give us, give it to someone who can use the smallest words to explain things the clearest to us. That's all we want. Because I know, like this is very clear. I understand exactly what you want me to do. Like, it's 2 things. Perfect. Great. I just know when it hits the game, it's going to be either A, completely different by then, or it's going to be some other. They're going to use all these words to explain it, and we're all going to go, what now? What do you want me to do? You want me to go into a game mode and just sort of guess where the special comes from? It's just we don't ask much Bungie. Just a little bit of clarity in explanations. That's all we want. If I walk into a thing,
we do
I
ask
know what
for a
to
lot,
expect.
but I think we deserve it by now. That's all I'm saying.
We do. It would be nice. But hey, the Super Black Shader is now available. Respawn has it. Every hunter in the entire world has it. I assume every other hunter would delete every other shader they had if possible. I've seen a couple of screenshots this week of people's endgame screens.
You got to keep Jack Arena because it's got good blacks on it, and you got to keep the
okay, so like 3 to 5 shaders.
Skelegal has a true black on like some cloth pants. It's like black. So yeah, you got to keep Skelegal, Super Black, Jacarina. And if you're a veteran, the Shrouded Stripes, which gives you the Tiger Stripe black shader, it's very nice. Yeah, so yeah. And then for when you're feeling frisky, you got to have the Trials of the 9 all white shader that I don't think you can get anymore.
Probably not the came from Trials of the 9.
There's 2 of those.
Is there?
Yeah.
I don't even know where the heck it is. Shows you how often I use it, right?
Nitedemon, do you have any consumable shaders in your vault still, or did they take all those away?
They took all those away.
You had consumables in your vault. Honors of the 9. There it is. Honors of the 9.
Yeah. You'll throw back to when shaders were consumable things you had to buy, and then if you used it, you had to buy another one. Yeah,
so that's so white.
At least we're not living in that world. Yeah, so Super Black's available. So Respawn, do you know what people have to do to get Super Black?
Yes, you have to max out Shax at the for some reason it's under the new light icon. Whatever. Oh, into the light. Sorry, into the light. So you got to go to the Hall of Champions, max out Shax, and then to his right there's a sweeper bot. Well, it looks like a sweeper bot, but it doesn't have a broom. He's a vendor. And you go to him. And he's got weapon bounties. And you have to complete each one of those weapon bounties. And then once you do that, you'll get keys A and keys B to open the vault behind him, where there's a big black blob of blah, just kind of hanging out, right? And you go there, you touch the thing, it envelops you like venom, like a symbiote. And then you then have the Super Black Shader to use as many times as your little heart desires.
Perfect. Couldn't explain it better if I tried.
I know you couldn't. That's why you asked me. Duh.
Exactly. and now I'm going to sit here. I'm just going to reject modernity. Yeah, it doesn't matter. We're rejecting it. We're embracing tradition, and we're equipping anarchy because it's time for a player support report. And
I saw somebody using anarchy in a raid. I'm like, dude, what are you doing?
Why are these words here? Windows 7 and 8 support. So beginning June 4th, 2024. Destiny 2 is ending support for Windows 7, Windows 8, and Windows 8.1 operating systems. This decision is to align with Steam and Microsoft also ending support for these systems. If you didn't get your free upgrade to Windows 10 by now, you missed out. And Windows 11, I suppose, is a thing you could be using. So yeah, Destiny 2 may continue running on these older systems after the 4th, but basically you're on your own at that point. They're unable to guarantee continued functionality. So it's not like it's going to stop working on June 4th, but there may come a time where it does stop working.
They will no longer be patching it, is the idea.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Those operating systems are unsupported, no longer being patched, and Destiny's going to go, or Bungie's going to go, listen, if you're playing on there, can't help you. We're not, don't call us. We're uninterested. They urge you to upgrade to a more recent version of Windows or move to another platform so that your playtime won't be interrupted. And they do have a
support. You can play on a Mac now, so you can avoid Windows altogether. Windows 7 if you're so inclined.
Pantheon checkpoints. There was an issue preventing players from progressing in the Pantheon when joining at the checkpoints.
There's no plus. There is
due to an issue.
Still broken.
Well, due to the issue, they've disabled checkpoints for the Caretaker and Zoark, the Explicator of Planets. They're attempting to resolve the issue as soon as possible.
They disabled all the checkpoints except and the last one.
This is not what it says. You can say what you're saying, but these is not what the words say. They're saying they've disabled the checkpoints for the Caretaker and the Explicator of Planets, where they're attempting to resolve it as soon as possible, and we'll provide an update when we have more information to share, which is probably in a report roundup, because I did provide some more information, but I don't remember if it was that.
No, it tracks with what's going on. There's only 3 checkpoints, right? Because the first boss isn't a checkpoint. You're just starting it, But the fact that like, we're disabling this one and this one. No, you disabled all except the last one, brother. All right? Let's be clear here, But if you manage to make it to 8 tracks, then you're good. But whatever. Yeah.
So get a checkpoint for the last one, because that's the only one you can get. They've seen some confusion surrounding the weekly Archie Hunt quest and wanted to offer some clarification. These quests are only intended to be available for 1 week each, and we made them with the time limit in mind. We understand it's not ideal for all players, which is why we made the shader available for completion of any one of the weekly quests. The lore attached to the triumphs will become available for players when the final shape launches. So yeah, that was not clear at all, that if you're trying to do the Archie hunts, it was only for a week. Again, Bungie, communication.
Okay. So if I didn't do it, I missed it.
So if you didn't do the one like in the tower, you've missed it entirely. Or if I don't do the one this week with the Cosmodrome or wherever he is, I will also have missed it. Yeah. Which again, it would be nice if you would have told us that if you were trying to get all this done.
Yeah, because normally when something like that happens, you wait till the end of it and you can do it all in the last week. That's what I was waiting for. I was like, I'll just do it in the last week and grab it all.
Yeah, and then I can just roll through the however many there are and get them all done. Yeah, no, sorry, you didn't do it the first week. You missed out on it. And that's why they updated the shader requirement, because they didn't tell anybody that this is Bungie, how this particular thing works.
I hate you, Bungie.
Remember how all these quests have always worked? We're going to change this one and not tell you about it, but we're going to intend it to be this way. You can intend lots of things, but if you don't tell people, we can't know these things. Again, if only they had a community, support team, some community managers, so maybe some, award-winning, nominated community managers that spoke to the community and conveyed the intentions of the developers to the community. If only that would have been a thing. Maybe they should look into that. So in addition to poor communication, players may be teleported back to the incorrect ADU location after completing certain phases. Not intended, not meant to make it harder for you. Just wants you to get your cardio up, get that heart rate going before the battle starts. So yeah, you may have to run back to where they actually meant to put you. The ADU in Onslaught can occasionally despawn. Sometimes it's tired of being there too, and it's like, I'm done. I'm out. On rare occasions...
We used to be able to make it do it on purpose, though.
Well, it's still occasional, so maybe that's one of the occasions.
Mm-hmm.
On rare occasions, the spark in Onslaught can be lost. Just as Nitedemon spark has been lost to play Onslaught for his shiny weapons. Also, the portal to leave the boss room in Onslaught will sometimes not open when you kill the boss too quickly. So again, don't play the game quick. Take a breath, slow down, give the boss time, and then you can leave the room. And also, your brave weapons, the Recluse and Hammerhead, don't highlight enemies like their previous models, which they talked about last week, and say, hey, at some point we're going to push a fix to make those actually highlight enemies as we intended. And we did have a patch this week, 7.7363, that we got on April 30th, which was Tuesday? Yes, Tuesday. I'm always sure it's Tuesday. That I always have to double check because sometimes they're tricksy and they go, no, we're going to drop these whenever we feel like it. And this is basically, they dropped all the special ammo meter changes they were talking about that we've talked about, I feel like, multiple times. So if you're interested in all those special things, which it sounds like they're just going to change again, so don't get, too in love with them. They have all those special ammo changes. This is where they did drop a bunch of Onslaught changes as well, where the Extinguish was not being cleared properly due to a Tormentor heat wave. They fixed an issue where the larger enemies teleported behind the ADU. Now they just teleport right onto the ADU, but not behind it, I guess. So the batteries could heal enemies when thrown, so that'll no longer be a thing. Additional healing functionality when thrown at defenses has been increased at the cost and consuming the battery. So while you could throw an ADU battery at anything before it would heal it. Enemy, decoy, turret, whatever, and it wouldn't expend that battery. Now it will no longer heal the enemies when you throw it at them, so that's good if you're bouncing off Tormentor's faces. And if you do use it to heal your defenses, it will basically cost you that ADU battery. So now instead of living in the world of and, you're living in a world of or. You can power the ADU or power your decoy, but not both. They fixed an issue where players hide from enemies in a spot behind the boss room. No more cheese for you, which Cheese Forever has responded with and said, incorrect. There is a different spot. We just move a little bit, and now we're in a new spot. Cheese for the win. And they fixed an issue in Legend difficulty where the portal to the boss room would not appear after wave 50. So, it's back now. The Whisper mission fixed an issue where the spawning visual effect of taken bosses, where players would not be kicked to orbit after the timer runs out, and fix some out of bounds spots. So no more hanging out with the Ochre friend and just, having a good old tea party with them. Now it'll kick you to orbit if you take too long.
Oh, Pad Sanda.
Yeah. For some weapons, they removed the red dot from the Tusk of the Boar grenade launcher when aiming down sights, as it wasn't supposed to have one. They fixed the bug preventing the mountaintops projectiles from piercing champion barrier shields, or barrier champion shields. So your mountaintop will now actually, be anti-barrier. The brave weapons, Recluse and... Wait. So...
That's that theory.
So on Tuesday... So on Tuesday, you told me the brave weapons of the Recluse... the brave versions of Recluse Hammerhead sights now correctly highlight enemies. Then on Thursday, you put out a TWAB that says it doesn't. So maybe the Recluse and Hammerhead correctly highlights enemies. Maybe it doesn't. So depending which item you read from this week, you're getting two absolutely different messages. So it was either fixed on Tuesday or it wasn't fixed on Tuesday. So your mileage may vary.
And your bets.
Take him for a run and see what happens. For your bounties and pursuits, the Shack's bounty to complete a pathway in Riven's Lair will now correctly count the coil. And they edited the description of breaking the charge triumph to make its requirements clearer. Again, communication and clarity. And also they fixed an issue where the pyramidic vessel ship showed bright flashing lights in orbit. But was that an issue, or was it so bright that it was causing people seizures or blinding you in the game? But apparently it won't do that anymore. Whatever lights were flashing will no longer flash. Yeah, so that's what they fixed. That's what they broke. Maybe you've got sights that highlight enemies. Maybe you don't. And we've got Titan smashing things, and we've got beautiful artwork for the week. And
solo Pantheons.
Yeah, So they'll be back next week with another TWAB, and we're at the end of this TWAB.
Huzzah!
Now let's see if
it's my turn.
The items in the report roundup from Bungie. Now these are both things that were maybe covered in this TWAB that I threw in going, you never can tell if they're actually going to include these or not. So, maintain the mystery.
Yes.
Okay. Onslaught ADU battery change. I think you just went over that. We can skip that. Actually, no, they have details. Oh, they have details. I can look at that. All right. This week, we made some changes to the way ADU batteries work in Onslaught. While looking to fix a bug where batteries could heal defenses, We decided to keep the healing with a few balance tweaks. We buffed the healing factor and made healing consume the battery. This is a great example of the community discovering something that was unintended, but fun. Our team is looking for a way to lean in rather than just fixing the bug. I'm kind of a little bit sad that they stopped it from healing enemies, because that was kind of, more of a reason to not just randomly throw it, because you might hit a baddie, but whatever. We felt this was interesting functionality and something worth analyzing as a potential change. To start, we wanted to ensure it didn't have griefing potential or introduce experts. We also wanted to avoid trivializing Legend Onslaught, where we want difficulty to matter. Next, we need to ensure we can improve on the experience to communicate this functionality, adding VFXs, audios, etc. And test the new batteries to make sure they felt good to use. We're happy with how it turned out and feel that it adds another interesting strategic element to Onslaught. I can agree with that. Special ammo meter changes in PvP. I'm not even going to discuss that because it's heartbreaking.
And I'm pretty sure that is the one they did. They say at the end, "Hey, we'll have more information in the swap," and they did have more information in the swap.
And then we have Bungie Help says, due to an issue, the risky archery emote has been temporarily changed. Gee, could it be the fact that you were going invisible in PvP? Anyway,
maybe.
Yes, that is why. It's because you were going invisible in PvP. But due to an issue, the risky archery emote has been temporarily changed to use a different animation. Once the issue is fixed in a future update, the risky archery emote will return to its normal animation. She's forever. It's because you can remove your character model. Bungie Help says, due to an issue preventing players from progressing in the Pantheon when joining at a checkpoint, we've disabled them. Yep, that's it. And then She's Forever sent another thing at Bungie Help that says, at Bungie Help, Bungie watching my vid, this is what happened. There's a link that shows...
And they're both links to his YouTube videos, which we'll have in the YouTube videos linked in the show notes. Because She's Forever was on...
What is it doing?
You have to watch the video to find out.
I'm watching it. Is he just not picking up? Oh, what? Oh, wait, hold on. What's happening?
She's Forever was on the ball.
Oh, they can't go further. Oh.
Yeah, like it soft locks the encounter. Yeah, so She's Forever on the ball, like immediately responding to both of them, going, "Here's what it is, and here's a video to show it." If you're wondering why this is broken.
Gee, yeah. His community is amazing. Like, I want to be on the inside of his community, like the guys that actually know the secrets and whatnot, because they know all of the shenanigans, all the places, all the times, all the everywheres, and I'm about it. I want to know. And then of course they find things that break the game as well as them. But I don't see any other Respawn's report roundups. I had a massive stroke right there.
Rewind. Respawn's report roundups.
Shut up.
Yeah. I don't know. Everything else was basically people moaning about Helldivers. So there may have been other people talking about things, but I don't know what they were this week. So the only YouTubes I've watched are not Destiny related, and the two videos that She's Forever posted going, "Hey, here's what's broken." So is Nitedemon close enough to tell us if he's watched videos this week, or has he been called away?
Nitedemon is always here.
I assume so.
No,
always
he's not.
Lurking,
I'm editing the video for this week.
It does pop shields. Look at that.
Yeah, that's what I figured.
Can confirm, Mountaintop does pop shields. Just tried it on a barrier champion.
But does the Recluse or the Hammerhead highlight enemies?
Who knows? I don't have a good Hammerhead to use, and Recluse, I'm not. Yeah, I don't use on solar builds.
I can't imagine why.
Who knew?
So, videos to recommend this week.
Yeah, what have you watched other than She's Forever going, "This is why things are broken"? What else do people put out that's worth enjoying?
Well, shameless.
Dado.
Listen, Dado had his apology.
Shameless promotion here for the Two Titans and the Hunter. We've got our Into the Light New Territories video. So it's 5 minutes long, and you may be asking why it's 5 minutes long. It's because it goes over the new territories with the maps on the screen for quite some time, at least a minute for each kind of map for you to have a look at. breaking down each game mode as well. So if you're unfamiliar with some of the 3v3 game modes that have been in and out of the rotation, I go over like how to play Clash, how to play Collision, how to play Survival, how to play Elimination. Just quickly. There you go. Bish, bash, bosh, done.
And for people who are going, what's a new territory? Remind us again, what are these new territories?
The new territory is the new maps that we are getting next week on Tuesday. So going over those ones that are coming into the rotation.
Beautiful. Tuesday, new maps. Watch the video, and then you too can wander around going, I don't know where anything is. Is this a place I can jump down to or a hole to fall into?
No.
Yeah. It looks like to be a big hole on Sirius Plaza, so don't jump down the hole. Important Fireteam Finder exploit from Cheese Forever. So I thought, this is going to be amazing. What's this with a Fireteam Finder? Turns out that you can put a certain kind of filter, because you can click, filter the game modes for X, Y, and Z. But if you put in a certain thing in the filter, you can be like there first to kind of pick to get into a game mode without having to you bypass the refresh mechanic basically, because you can only refresh every 30 seconds or something. So you can kind of be first draft for some of these people. So go and check out his video on that one. I will throw in the esoteric Golgoroth video where he solos Golgoroth in the Pantheon.
So we could all be just a little sad about that. Perfect.
Yeah. I will throw in there the Pantheon raid for dummies from Rick Kakis. And we also have the one from Fallout Plays, because they are very different. So there's there is that.
Can you beat Pantheon before Rick Kakis finishes his intro to the Pantheon video?
Are they for different sorts of dummies? Like if I'm a particular dummy, should I watch one, or should I basically watch both of them to go, I have a prayer of understanding this, and I'm still going to get destroyed because I've never done any of these encounters in the actual raid?
Well, Fallout breaks it down a little bit more with kind of each encounter, whereas Rick Kakis, I think, assumes that you've done raiding, and it goes over more of this is what's been added to the kind of each thing and how to kind of approach each encounter, basically.
And that's why Fallout is my kind of dummy.
And did you know that Randall the Vandal has returned? There's a hidden boss in the Cosmodrome. And this is by DUQK. Just a random video kind of came across this week. And I thought, people go and have a look at that. And then go and find Randall the Vandal. Because it looks like it could be tied to like a hidden kind of quest or something that's in the game. He just kind of appears. You can't defeat him. And then he disappears. And this guy's searched the Cosmodrome to see where he's gone, but can't find him.
Interesting. Bungie does love throwing things in like that, going, hey, there's new stuff coming. We're just going to throw this here and let you find it.
Yeah, like Tormentors when you're kind of doing the Dreaming City public event. Yeah. Speaking of that, right, I was trying to do the Riven's Wish to summon Paduak or something, the hidden boss that's on one of the areas on the Dreaming City.
Yeah.
Did you do that, or did you just defeat the taken bosses?
Because the taken bosses.
It was either or. It was defeat taken bosses in, I think it was Rio Silvia, or you could summon this hidden boss.
Oh yes, yeah. No, I defeated the taken bosses because I was trying to figure out the other boss, and then Mr. Blue Screen was like, "You can just kill taken bosses until you get it done." I was like, "Well, let's do that then."
Yeah,
that's way easier.
Well, I was sitting around in the area farming these bosses, and I was thinking, well, if this guy suddenly turns up, and I can get it done. And there was a guy sitting up on one of the peaks, and I'd seen this video of some other guy staying up on this peak and looking at all these different various locations, because this hidden guy kind of suddenly pops up and it comes up on the side of your screen. And I was like, all right, I'm going to keep an eye on that. And he popped up, went over, killed him, picked up the bully, and managed to get to kind of the first debuff area. Threw it to this guy because I thought he knows what he's doing, because he's sitting here waiting for it. Threw it to him. He ran in the opposite direction, round one of the kind of areas. I'm shooting at him like, no, mate, it's over this way. We've got to go over this way to dunk it. You're going up the wrong mountain. He went up the wrong mountain, realised he'd gone up the wrong mountain, tried to come back, and then died with the bully. And I'm like, my work has been for nothing.
I don't even know what you're talking about.
I might as well just skill experience.
Yeah, but I threw it to him because he looked like he knew what he was doing because he was there with me, and I'm like, I'm going to give the guy a chance. Let's do this together. No, you ran in the opposite direction.
Nope.
What were you trying to do? I'm still lost on that.
One of the Riven's wishes.
Riven's wishes.
I just thought it was funny that happened to me.
Trying to get your free raid loot without raiding.
Yeah. But yeah, that's my videos for this week.
Very good. And Respawn, I'd asked, but I'm figured you would have put something in by now if you had something. You've just been too busy.
There's really nothing any good. There's some Mactix builds that are pretty good for hunters right now, but other than that, I mean, just go to Mactix channel. I haven't seen Plunder the Booty in a minute. Is he still doing things?
He's put out one. Yeah, he put out one this week where I think it's I can't remember if it's a Warlock or a Hunter build. That's like the new King of DPS where he got 1,300 kills in Onslaught. Well, let me say that again.
Oh yeah, because he's
1,300 kills.
That's not
in
hard
Onslaught.
to do. That's not hard to do. Here, let me help you guys out. Okay, are y'all ready for this? Equip. All right, hear me out. Don't jump ahead now. Equip. Oh damn! I just blanked when I was being a smartass. Eyes of Tomorrow. Just equip Eyes of Tomorrow. Boom, done.
Okay. Instructions unclear. Have no eyes of today or tomorrow.
Well then, do Pantheon. Get Eyes of Tomorrow. Go into Onslaught. Get 1,300 kills. There you go. Video solved in a nutshell.
Bungie rage again. See my frustration. I need the weapon to go into the other game mode. Ah!
Yep.
You don't need it for Onslaught. It just makes it easy for Onslaught.
Yeah, I want to make things easy.
It's just the easiest button.
I played Onslaught with Demon and Blue, right? And I wanted to use Eyes of Tomorrow to just mess around. I'm like, Demon's usually pretty competent with these kinds of things. I'm just going to put on, Eyes of Tomorrow, not even try to build around it and just, shoot things. The problem is, these guys kept shooting the ads I was trying to shoot to get the infinite ammo. I'm like, all right, this isn't working.
It wasn't me. It wasn't me. It was the other guy. It was the other guy, and I just didn't want to say things.
Whatever. But either way, I pretty quickly ran out of heavy.
Human words? Did you use your human words to explain what you were trying to do?
I think I actually tilted Blue because Blue just like stopped talking for a while, right? And then I was like, all right, clearly y'all need me to carry y'all, so I swapped to my Beyblade build, right? And the Beyblades were carrying until somebody kept shooting the damn things, right? Now, I don't mind if you shoot my Beyblades if you're also running Strand, because you can make more, and I can shoot those. But when you're not running Strand and you're shooting my Beyblades, you're crippling our DPS. Don't do that. This goes back to the whole Warmind thing. If you didn't make the Warmind balls, don't pick them up. Don't shoot them. If you didn't make the Strand balls, don't shoot them. Don't pick them up. They are not yours. Leave them alone. People build around these things. Okay, you hear me? They create Beyblades. My Beyblades create Threadlings. Things go boom. Stop shooting my balls. They might be green instead of blue, but they're still mine. Okay?
That. I don't know who's watching the stream, but if you're not clipping this, you're not doing your job.
But yeah, so, once people stop shooting the Beyblades, oh, look at that. We did a thing. It's kind of weird how that works, right? But it's just like, stop shooting my ball. And he just kept doing it. I wasn't sure who it was, but whoever it was, why did you keep shooting them? We're working together, and you're clearly not working with the rest of the team right now.
There's working with the team and working against the team. It's all kind of the same, right?
Yeah. Well, I'm not trying to play that on legendary mode. Legendary mode. So
Don't we, Peroty? We have a good team.
We do. We have a great team.
Yes. I see.
There's you. There's me.
Yep.
There's Nitedemon. There's that Orbit who can't be threatened with a good time. There's Calvin Burns who also can't be threatened with a good time. There's our incredible team of Otter Dance Troupe, the T-Rex King, the Scarlet KM, Mel O'Malley, Dedicated William 64, and Renard Calant. I mean, they're a phenomenal team. You know who's even maybe even a more honed, more coordinated team that Shaq smiles upon? Carver 2782, Golden God 1562, We Noble, Basically Salt, Fire Squad 1688, and Coderson 105 are marvelous grenade throwers. They cover the sky in grenades. You look up, you see nothing. It's all grenades. And Deacon, deep in the lab, with Dimwee, Gravy Jeff, and PB Pipe, working on that Day 1 raid team. We have a phenomenal team. And our phenomenal team is now getting early access to some fancy YouTube videos that our Patreons in the Discord get before they go up anywhere else. You can get them. So you would have known. Yeah. You would have known all about Into the Light, the new territory overview, all about the new PvP maps before anybody else. All you have to do, patreon.com/TTAH, for as little as $3 American and whatever dollars where you live a month. You too can have access to these things, our fancy little secret Patreon chat, and one day more things once we get it all together and figure it all out and acquire YouTube hours and followers to give you more stuff. So yeah, we have a phenomenal team.
Speaking of which, thanks to the community, we are actually getting YouTube benefits, I think. Or we will be soon. I can't remember what he said. He said it like 10 minutes ago, and I've already forgotten. But YouTube is growing, and we have no one to thank except you guys and, me for making this such an amazing show. So, keep it up. Expose us to your friends.
So if you would like to reward Nitedemon's hard work or Respawn's ego, youtube.com/2titans and a hunter. And you will find this show, the long version of videos on what's going on this week, the short version of videos on what's going on this week. Explanations for Iron Banner, explanations for the new maps, and really, it's basically the manual that Bungie didn't ship with the game. If you're going, how do I play this? What are all these things? The lovely British man has you covered. He will tell you all the things. And as a special added bonus, you can also use it as a sleepy bedtime story. If you just want to listen to his soothing voice as you fall asleep, just put the channel on repeat. Make yourself a playlist and just listen to it over and over and over again. And you can just enjoy the soothing sounds of the Nitedemon vocals, telling you all the fancy things that are coming this week and why you should play Destiny. You should, I promise. It's worth it. And I think from our team to your team, thank you for joining us. Your Titans are Peroty and Nitedemon, your hunter is no one responds in real life. We are on YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. Just honestly, find your search box, 2 Titans and a Hunter. We're there. If you've got thoughts, opinions, things you want to tell us, 2titansandahunter@hotmail.com. We love getting email. We read it, we print it out, we paste it on our fridge, and we say, look, people listen to us and they like us. You can find this show wherever you get your podcasts. You should follow us on YouTube, or follow Shush, yes. Go to YouTube, follow us, 2 Titans and a Hunter. New episodes, weekly update videos. When there's live streams, those live there. 2titansandahunter.com, or where you can get all of the show notes, and I mean all of the show notes. If every single video we mention, every single link we mention, any website we talk about, it's all there. Or if you're going, didn't they have a creator's channel that had a really interesting video? Or who is that guy that does all the builds? 2titansandahunter.com. All the show notes are there. And at the top of the page, there's an entire Google sheet of if you're new to the game or you're trying to drag your friend into the game and say, hey, we have to go do the old campaigns, or how do I get this thing? Or, there was a mission to do that. How do I do that? Nitedemon has all of your resources in one convenient place where you can go and get all of that information without having to hunt it down yourself. And if you want to join the Otter Dance Troupe, threaten us with a good time, throw more grenades, join our Patreon, patreon.com/TTH. If you want to toss us a coffee, coffee.com, that's ko-fi.com/2titansandahunter. And if you want to listen to this show live, twitch.tv/no one responds in real life. Or as he last wish raids, or, whatever he gets up to. That's where you should go. Follow him, hit the bell. And if you want to keep it family friendly like a proper British gentleman, head over to twitch.tv/2titansandahunter. Hit subscribe, hit the bell. You'll know when they go live. You'll know when things are afoot. And you too can have a good time. Gents, until next week. Any closing thoughts for the people?
And deuces.
And we'll be back with more Destiny this time next week. Bye, everybody.
Same bat time, same bat channel.
Maybe.
Two Titans and a Hunter, a Destiny 2 podcast.